Let me get everything set up for the stream. Let me make sure everything's Gucci. Let me make sure everything's Gucci with the sound. I appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight for the live stream. Saturday night, baby. Let me get my sound Gucci. Let me make sure everything is good here on the stream tonight so we can have a great episode. We have some dope shit to speak on tonight. We got some dope stuff to talk on tonight. We're actually going to be digging into the G Unit and Murder Inc. issues from so many years ago. Some information is being dug up that we didn't really know about. You know what I mean? Being dug up from one of 50's biggest opponents that he ever saw in the game. That's right. We have one of Ja Rule's closest affiliates, an artist signed by Irv Gotti, signed to Murder Inc., who now seems to be repping with 100 ENT. That's right, you guys. Wack 100's group. There was a live stream with Wack 100's A&R CEO Reek. Cadillac Ta was on the stream as well. And we had quite a bit of 50 Cent talk, you guys. And we're going to get into all of that tonight. Also, a G Unit Brick Squad affiliate is facing mad time after a conviction for a very serious crime. We got quite a bit to talk about tonight, you guys. We got quite a bit to talk about tonight. Live episode. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. You know what to do when you get in here. You hit that like button, share this video, and let me know what you're smoking, what city and state you're tapping in from. Everybody get it lit in the chat. Hit that chat box, y'all. Hit the chat box. Let me know what city and state you're tapping in from. That's right. That's how we get things rolling here on the channel. We got North Carolina on the tap in tonight. Much love to North Carolina. I see you in here, baby. What's up, Eric? What's up, Eric? We got Lady Legend in here. What's going on, shorty? Appreciate you for tapping in. Much love to my guy Ethan on the tap in tonight. Memphis, Tennessee is in here. Memphis, Tennessee. Much love to Memphis, Tennessee. We got Long Island up in here. Long Island, baby. What's going on? Salute to Long Island. Salute to everybody in New York. I can't wait to head out to New York and plant my feet down. That's right. Hit that super chat if you want to support the movement. Hit that super chat if you want to support the movement. But I hope y'all are ready for some dope news tonight. Hope y'all are ready for the best hip-hop news tonight. That's why you guys tune in with Mikey T, the movie star, to hear that hip-hop news, to hear that dope hip-hop news, to get that fix, if you will, to get that hip-hop fix. Elizabeth, New Jersey's up in here. You know what we do to start these videos off. First off, we roll up. Whatever you're rolling in, put it in the chat. Let me know. I'll shout it out. I'm rolling on a Dutch Master as usual, and I'm rolling up some runts. We got New York City. What up, Stacks? We got New York City in the building tonight. Yes, Hottie Boy. Yes, that's what we're aiming for. I'm going to get my own late night show. I'm looking for my own show on like Sirius Radio, something like that. You know what I mean? It's all a due process, man. But I'm having a blast right here on YouTube. I'm on my independent grind. We got Cali. We got Cali in the building tonight. Much love to everybody out in California. Much love to everybody out in Cali. We got North Carolina on the tap-in. Hell yeah, salute. Let me know what y'all are blazing on tonight. Let me know what everybody's smoking on tonight. You heard? Let me know what y'all smoking on in the chat. Let me know what everybody's blazing on. I'm smoking on some runts. You know, I got that runts pack tonight. Been smoking on the runts the last few days, actually. Been smoking on runts the last few days. That's my shit, you guys. If y'all haven't been checking out my new exclusives, y'all need to go check them shits out. Hold on 1 second. Put that over here. Boom, 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 Much love to everybody that's tapping in tonight. On the tap in, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you leave a comment with what city and state you're tapping in from. Everybody in here tonight, make sure you show some love. Make sure you show some love in the chat. There we go. There we go. Good money. We're good money. We got Scotland up in here. What's up with Scotland? Hold on one second, you guys. Let me get this L rolled up before we get things started tonight. I got some L's to roll. You know we got some bud to smoke tonight, you guys. What up? What up? We got the Bahamas on the tap in. Much love to the Bahamas on the tap in tonight. Rochester, New York. What's good? Everybody share this video if you support the chat, if you support the room. No jumper interview coming soon. I can't say that. I'm not sure if Adam 22 is tapped in with what we're doing over here. I would love to go tap in with Adam 22 though. Scotland, salute to Scotland, salute to the Bahamas, salute to Rochester, Cali, North Carolina. This is how we get things going in the live tonight, you guys. This is how we get things going every night, really. Let me roll something up. Let me get my air turned on. All right, let me know that y'all can hear me properly. Let me know that my sound isn't getting too messed up. Here, let me see what's up with the sound. All right, let me know that y'all can hear me properly. Let me know that my sound. Everything is Gucci. Everything is Gucci. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Let me get this shit rolled up, y'all. Let me get this L rolled up. Let me get this L rolled up, y'all. What's up with this? Sorry about that. What up? What up? What up? Let me get this shit situated real quick. We'll be ready to go. I'm rolling up a fat ass L, you guys. Should have had this pre-rolled for the show. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse me, y'all. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. We're going to get started in just a moment, y'all. Get started in just a moment. Let me know what you're smoking in the chat. I'm rolling up right now. Everybody go check it. All right. Bella K linked up. Bella K linked up with Nigerian artist Kensa on the summer anthem Right For You. Y'all can go check that out from Bella K right now. What is going on? All good, brother. All good. Bali, all good, man. If anybody has any questions, just super chat that shit. Oh my God. Gotta be kidding me. Smoking on that gumbo? Okay. Smoking on that gumbo. Everybody share this video, man. Share this video with at least one friend. Support the channel, y'all. Let them know what we're in here talking about, man. We're in here talking about hip hop. We're in here talking about real shit. Saturday night shit, man. The new Saturday Night Live. Y'all ready to hear this epic news tonight? We're taking it all the way back to Get Rich or Die Trying today, you guys. We are taking it back all the way back. We're going all the way back to 2003. Shit, we might even be going back to 2002 with this one. Y'all ready for some hip hop shit? Y'all ready for some hip hop shit tonight? Let me know. Hit that like button if you're ready for this live video. I see 17 likes, but we got 56 people in here. Hit that like button, man. Just finishing rolling up. I'm just finishing rolling up. Y'all ready for this, man? Y'all ready to dig back into the history of the Murder Inc. G-Unit rivalry? Looks like one of Irv Gotti's signees isn't ready to let it go. Looks like Cadillac Ta isn't ready to let it go. But you know what? Clubhouse is a different type of environment. You're going to have people logging on to Clubhouse talking about all different types of things. This conversation basically started with Reek simply asking Cadillac Ta about something as simple as, I think it was a cartoon. Something as simple as a cartoon that was made of G-Unit members beating on Murder Inc. members. That's pretty much what it was about, you guys. Now, I give Reek credit for actually asking Cadillac Ta about this, for actually bringing up the video of Ja Rule and Tony Yayo going at it. I believe it must have been a cartoon video. I can't remember if I saw it. It's probably something that was created many, many years ago. Now, asking Cadillac Ta, I've done interviews with Cadillac Ta. Asking Cadillac Ta about this type of shit a few years ago, probably a major no-no. You know what I mean? But now he's more open. Now he's more open, and we saw that he had a conversation with CEO Reek, and it was a conversation that we're going to go over tonight, and I want to know how y'all feel about it. We're going to talk about quite a few things. We're going to talk about baby oil. We're going to talk about the baby oil that, was infamously rubbed on Curtis's back. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying album cover. They called it Suspect. The Get Rich or Die Trying. All right, man. Listen, we're in 2003, it was a whole nother story. Here we are in 2022, and the cover's been copied over dozens of times. You know what I mean? With the broken glass. You know what I'm saying? Broken glass everywhere. You know what I'm saying? The broken glass, the bullet shots in the cover, the album covers, it's all been reproduced multiple times. You know what I'm saying? It's all been reproduced multiple times, and it all started with 50 Cent. Nobody was calling it corny back then. Hell, when 50 dropped The Massacre in 2005, and all he did was take a blue marker and edge himself up a little bit, nobody called that corny either. You bought the album, even though it had blue marker all over it. So here we are 25 years later, 20 years later. Yeah, 20 years later. Here we are 20 years removed from the Get Rich or Die Trying album, and now it's Suspect. Nah, you're going to have to miss me with that Suspect shit when it comes to Get Rich or Die Trying, because I use that moniker till today. I go and I listen to songs from that album till today. What was Suspect about the Get Rich or Die Trying album cover? Was it the all the Gucci fifth hat on in there with no shirt? You kidding me right now? Who wouldn't want a couple gun holsters in the Gucci ensemble? I'd be seeing these dudes. They be having the plain black, not the plain black. They be having the plain brown leather holsters, no Gucci, no Louis, and they be wearing that shit every day of the week. They be wearing that shit every day, every time they want to feel cool. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not throwing shots at anybody. The shoe fits, wear it. Sometimes that shit do be looking cool. You know what I'm saying? Iceberg said, that's like people saying I'm not buying Raekwon's purple tape because it's purple. Hella insecure. Yeah, the fact of the matter is, at the point in time when 50 Cent was embracing the muscles that he had, you know what I mean? The industry wasn't the same. The industry wasn't the same as it is now. You know what I mean? Where everybody's like literally like a stick figure because they're so hyped up on Perk and Xan. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's just not like that anymore. Right now, it's real. It's like what Diddy told French Montana. And if you didn't see what Diddy told French Montana, go watch the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast with my big bro Gilly the Kid. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what Diddy told French about rappers, artists, yeah, Diddy said some foul shit about us. But you know what, man? Diddy has great advice. When I say Diddy has great advice, Diddy has motivating advice. Yeah. I remember one time Diddy posted an image from one of my interviews on his Instagram or something like that back in the day. That shit is motivation. Still play the album Get Rich or Die Trying. Oh, yeah, all of us do, man. Share this video, everybody. Hit that like button. We're going to get started on all the news in just a few minutes. Let's get 100 people in here. We're going to get started. We got 90 people right now. We got 24 likes. So hit that like button right now, y'all. Hit that like button and share this video love. Vote in the poll right now. Vote in the poll right now. Dude, don't be jumping into my video in 2 seconds and assuming what I'm talking about, man. Please, miss me with that shit. Miss me with that shit. All right, so yeah, still playing the album Get Rich or Die Trying. Yeah, exactly. You can listen to cuts from Get Rich or Die Trying right now. You could put on Heat. You could, you know what I mean? You could put on his street cuts and actually listen to them now, like they still are relevant. That's the 50 Cent album. Even the Massacre has cuts you could put on now. Position of Power, Ski Mask Way. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little bitch get in my car. Maybe that one will work. What up, Gorbo? What's popping with you, Gorbo? Appreciate you for tapping in. Appreciate you for tapping in tonight. What up, Lee? Appreciate you for tapping in. What is going on? I need everybody to hit that like button. We got 29 likes in here. We got 79 people in here. I'm going to need y'all to hit that like button right now and show some love to this video. I'm going to smoke while y'all like the video. I'm going to just enjoy this kush. I'm going to enjoy this runts while y'all like the video, and then we can get started in a few minutes, you guys. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody wants to sit back, take a little hit of their runts before we get started talking about 50. Talking about the newest Wack 100 ENT affiliate. Salute to Block 109. Much love to Block 109. Mikey T, the movie star's got love for y'all. Yeah, the Massacre, Get Rich or Die Trying. There's tracks on there that you could play just like in your whip and it'll be relevant as if they're just as good today as they were back then. You know what I'm saying? Not even saying I really had a whip back then. I didn't have it in my car in 2003. You know what I mean? I didn't have a whip in 2003. I didn't have a whip even in 2005, I don't think. But by that time, I was actually driving around with my friends and listening to all of the projects. You know what I'm saying? In those times, I was listening to the projects. You know, back in the day, back before 2003, my friends would actually burn shit for me to hear. They wouldn't burn it for me personally. They would have a whole collection and they would run through all of the 50 Cent music for me. They would run through 50's artists. Okay, this is Lloyd Banks. This is what he's doing with Tony Yayo. You know, they would run me through all that shit literally, and that's how I'd learn about the artist and shit. What is up, Poppy? What's popping with you, man? What is good, Poppy? We got some shit to talk about tonight. We're talking about 50 versus Ja. 50 and Ja, you guys, you know we're talking about one of the most classic rivalries in hip-hop tonight. Talking about some of the most classic rivalries in hip-hop. Also, we're talking about the Brick Squad G-Unit affiliate facing 25 years. He's facing 25 years right now. Every source is reporting on it. Vlad's got it up. Almost every different blog's got it up. Frenchie is locked up. Frenchie had ties with Brick Squad, obviously. Gucci Man, he had ties coming from Queens with 50 G-Unit. A lot of the G-Unit guys were running around with Frenchie back in the day and shit. Frenchie was a solid dude. I met him on several occasions. We had actually done an interview. Within the last year or so, but I met Frenchie many, many years ago. Back before I even moved to Miami, Florida, I was actually running around with Frenchie a little bit. I met Frenchie. I wasn't running around with Frenchie like that. I had a couple occasions where I was sent to Frenchie to do interviews. The first being one at PMS Radio. Share this video, everybody. If you want the world to know Mikey T's the hottest new blogger, share this video with at least one of your friends. So I met Frenchie for the first time in the Bronx at PMS Radio. That's right. He was there with G-Baby. Rest in peace, G-Baby. One of the realest dudes I ever encountered in this hip-hop shit. I remember I was filming G-Baby, and G-Baby was like, we don't have Gats on camera no more. He's like, I graduated from that shit. I remember G-Baby told me that shit to this day. That's how you honor. That's how you honor somebody. You remember them. You honor their memory when you get the chance like I'm doing right now. Respect the G-Baby. Respect the G-Baby. I wish G-Baby was still here entertaining the masses. I wish he was still here able to provide for his family. Really sucks because I know he had some major connections. Memphis Bleak being one of them. Not really sure why the whole Get Low situation ended. The rumor was that he was dissing Rick Ross, and that's why everything ended with Get Low. A call was made to Jay-Z, yo, what is your guy doing dissing Rick Ross's people? Rick Ross is actually Jay-Z's artist, so that was kind of a bad move. Everybody hit that like button right now if you support the show. Like this video if you support the show. We got the best news tonight. We got some real shit to talk about tonight, you guys. I'm on one tonight. We going off tonight, you guys. I need everybody to share this video in here. Let's get started, though. So Reek said, someone sent me a video from an award show where G-Unit is packing out Murder, Inc. G-Unit is packing out Murder, Inc. That's weird. I don't think any of us really saw this footage. So Reek says he saw this footage from an award show where G-Unit was packing out Murder, Inc. Murder Inc. is running and falling over. Cadillac Ty Murder. Y'all know Cadillac Ty from Murder Inc. He actually had the single Pav City. He actually had a single that was featured on the Fast and the Furious album soundtrack and a music video and all that. So Cadillac Ty was like, that's $1 million video. If you can pull that up, but I bet you wish you can. I bet you wish you can get the Hit Factory footage on 54th Street to pull up their video and see who got packed out there. I bet you they can pull that up. So Cadillac Ty is saying, if we go back to the Hit Factory, if we go all the way back to the Hit Factory, you guys, you'll be able to find some footage of 50 Cent getting packed out. But this footage that Reek is talking about, you'll never find it. If that footage was available, it would be worth $1 million. It'd be worth $1 million. Caddy's saying the footage doesn't exist. Reek went on, I see in the video, Yayo has got Ja Rule in a headlock and he's doing a DDT and there's chairs flying. Now, right from that moment, at first when Reek started talking, Reek's like, there's a video of a guy running and people falling over. I was thinking, is he talking about the video when Yayo and Mike Knox and all those guys actually caught gunplay? I'm like, is he mixing it up? But no, it hit me. You know what I mean? It hit me real quick. It actually hit me real quick, you guys. Reek was talking about a cartoon video. But before they realized it, somebody in the chat was like, where's Smurf at? Because if Murder Inc. was running, if Ja Rule was doing the dash, you know what I'm saying? Bang'em Smurf must have been there. You know what I'm saying? Bang'em must have been there. So I knew the footage was fake, though. Someone else was like, hey, Reek, hey, are they in a TLC match? Like, you know how they have all these create a match type stipulations or whatever you want to call it. A lot of people go on and create their own created wrestler. A lot of rappers are doing it, apparently. I'm not sure if that's what Reek had. I think it was more of just a cartoon that somebody did where Tony Yayo had Ja Rule in a headlock and you could kind of see Ja Rule's eyes bugging out or something like that. So Caddy was like, I know dudes would have loved that, but unfortunately, there are no videos. They would have loved to see it. It would have fit their narrative more. Caddy's like, they would love to have something. It would have fit their narrative more. The narrative that we have all come accustomed to believe. You know what I mean? Much like 50 writing for the game. So when Game and Wack 100 came forth and were like, the Game wrote What's Up Gangsta. It was like, it was so foreign to us. It was like, what? What do you mean? For the whole time, we were thinking 50 wrote for the Game. You know what I mean? This whole time, we're actually thinking that 50 actually wrote for the Game. So Cadillac Ty is basically saying that there's no video evidence to support the narrative that we've all been believing for 20 years. The narrative that G-Unit packed out Murder Inc. every time they came into contact. That is the narrative that we've all sort of been on for the last 20 years. Even when Irv Gotti and Ja Rule did their show appearances and they were like, yo, Envy, yo, Flex, yo, whoever, name your DJ. We're coming up to the station and we're bringing this paperwork. this paperwork that says 50 Cent ratted on us. And you know what? Since we're Ja Rule, since we're Irv Gotti, since we're bringing you Ashanti Records, you're going to allow us. You are going to allow us to bring this up there and to say 50 Cent is a rat on the radio, even though none of us really heard those interviews so much. If anybody in New York can remember hearing those interviews, let me know. You know what I'm saying? If anybody in New York actually heard those interviews when 50 was being called a snitch by Ja Rule and Irv Gotti, let me know. I would want to say it's around the Last Temptation album portion. I want to say it's around that time. But Cadillac Ty is saying they would have loved to see, because it would have fit their narrative more. They would love to have something. We wasn't on the L side of that. It doesn't exist. Then Reek came and said, nah, the video don't exist. Nah, the video doesn't exist. Yeah, that's true. If that video existed, 50 Cent would have had posted that video 50 times on the internet by now. 50 Cent, instead of posting videos about buying tickets to Ja Rule's show, would simply be posting the video of Ja Rule running. Now, they would simply be posting the video of Ja Rule getting packed out. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get that much video evidence of different things going on back then, though, because there were two altercations that we heard about that never saw the light of day. The altercation that actually Cadillac Ty's bringing up that happened at the Hit Factory, that was in New York. There was another altercation that happened in Atlanta when Chaz actually tried to get Ja Rule and 50 to talk it out. I believe that they were actually on the same flyer, you guys. Can you believe that shit? 50 Cent and Ja Rule were on the same flyer for a show in Atlanta back in the day. Like, that just shows you how lit shit was back in the day when it came to the musicians, man. We got we got T.I. and Ludacris almost appearing on the same song, right? Well, screw that. We got 50 and Ja Rule popping up at the same event. Ja Rule is headlining the show. 50 is opening the show. That shit would have been crazy. I would have loved to have gone there. I don't know if they both performed that night, though. Share this video up. You support the channel. We got 100 people in here right now. We got 109 people in here right now, and there's only 38 likes on this video. Y'all need to hit that like video. Hit that like right now on this video. Show me some support on the channel, y'all. Bro, you wildin', man. What are you talking about? 50 Cent done posted G members packing people out on his Instagram page multiple times. How long have you been a fan, bro? Come on, man. Don't question what I'm up here talking about. Go talk about it on your own YouTube channel. I don't get up on here and talk about shit I don't know about. If 50 had video evidence of Ja Rule running, you know, like we had heard about other altercations with dudes getting ran out, it would have been posted, point blank period, and it would have been reposted. It would have been reposted, you guys. It would have actually been reposted now in the Instagram era. It would have been put out there back in the day, in the era where you got blasted on the Summer Jam screen. Yeah, it would have been up there too, probably a few different times. There would have been more evidence out there as well, as far as on the albums and shit. There would have been more evidence on the albums rather than 50 having makeup artists actually record on Back Down. Instead of having like that makeup artist they had that they said worked with Ja Rule record on Back Down, they would have actually had live recordings and shit like that. So come on, let's look at it from a real perspective, man. Let's look then. If you're a day one, I'm a day one. You know what I'm saying? I'm a day one. I literally watched all this shit. I was the kid listening to Power of the Dollar, wondering, damn, how is 50 Cent going to go mainstream? How's 50 Cent going to turn what he does when he's rapping about literally selling guns? How's he going to turn this into a mainstream type of thing when he's actually rapping about dissing every other rapper? When he's actually rapping about all of the kingpins in the music industry? How is he going to turn it? And that's why when I heard Candy Shop, I was like, damn, that was just a little bit too soon. Candy Shop was just a little bit too soon. Maybe that could have been on the third album. But, 50 kind of got pushed. 50 kind of got pushed out of his element, or not necessarily out of his element, because he was really good at producing albums for all of these other G-Unit artists, just like he's really good at producing television shows. Sometimes, though, I'll bring it up to Scary Movie 1 and Scary Movie 2, the Wayans brothers. Scary Movie 1 is the documentary. Scary Movie 1 is the documentary. The movie, they took a while on Scary Movie Part 1. The Wayans brothers were actually going to call it Scream If You Know What I Did Last Friday the 13th. What a whack-ass title, first of all. I'll just say that. No shade to the Wayans brothers. Love you guys. But so they come out with that classic movie, makes a shitload of money at the box office. The movie company comes back and says, hey, we need another one of those. We need Scary Movie Part 2. They only gave them 6 months to put together Scary Movie 2. Scary Movie 2 came out, and it just wasn't anything like the first one. It was like, wow, this is like something that you took so little time with. When the first one, like with your debut album, you take your whole life with it. You know what I mean? The Wayans brothers is there watching every single horror movie, writing down every single different idea. You know what I mean? Every Titanic joke. But anyways, I compare it to that because when 50 Cent put his all into the documentary, it left him giving up. He gave up a lot of the massacre. He gave out a lot of the massacres, like feeling to actually help produce the documentary. And then they put it out within such a short time frame, you guys. Both albums came out within such a short time frame of each other that you could just tell that it was a little bit diluted. Maybe Hate It or Love It was supposed to be on The Massacre. Maybe The Massacre wasn't even supposed to be called The Massacre. Are these questions ever going to be answered? Probably not, because nobody asked 50 Cent these questions. They ask him all types of other BS, but they don't ask him these questions. Why the hell was your second album going to be called St. Valentine's Day Massacre? Now, Sway did ask him that back in the day. I'll give it to Sway. 50 gave him the answer of, well, we took over, we Get Rich or Die Trying, and now it's The Massacre. Very bland answer to me. Very bland answer to me to say that, okay, so now you took over everything with Get Rich or Die Trying, so the next one's called The Massacre? Okay, whatever, man. You had such a great album title for the first album. How is the second album called The St. Valentine's Day Massacre? Didn't really make sense. Like, I'm just being real. If anybody in the chat feels like with 50 Cent's timeline of albums, how does The Power of the Dollar, Get Rich or Die Trying, The Massacre, it sounds good now that we look at it because we're looking at it in retrospect. Power of the Dollar, Get Rich or Die Trying, The Massacre, Curtis, Before I Self-Destruct, Animal Ambition. But Curtis and Before I Self-Destruct were actually supposed to be flip-flopped. And honestly, I think the singles from The Massacre should have been on Curtis because it was 50 opening up way too soon. Blessings to the chat. What up, bro? Appreciate you for tapping in tonight. Yup, Mike, I'll read that right there. Mike says, Jazz said 50 punched Ja and it landed because Ja had a little bat in his hand and Ja gestured wrong and 50 punched him. That's when Ja Rule's chains fell off and G-Unit had it. Chaz said he saw all of that. Yeah, the whole incident that happened in Atlanta is when they actually both went off to speak. Ja Rule was actually at this little portion of his career. A lot of you guys might remember it. Ja Rule and all them had done some photo shoots, maybe some video shoots. They were carrying around all those small little bats. You know what I'm saying? They were carrying around all those small little bats. Now, maybe 50 got the shot off, but from what I heard and from what we've seen in other videos, I mean, we just heard Mano open up candidly about it. You know what I mean? On $1 Million Worth of Game, on The Breakfast Club, he opened up about the fact that Jim Jones was at a whole nother level of his career when they ran into each other. So when he ran into Jim Jones had 50 people with him. You know what I mean? Let's be realistic to this situation about who is more popping at the point in time. Who would have more people in that situation? But let me move on here. So Cadillac Toss said we wasn't on the L side of that. So yeah, he must mean on the L side of like the actual altercations, because there was nothing but L sides. The only positive that came from Murder Inc., I want to say, is that they actually released Ashanti's album the same year as 50's album. That was like the last bit, the last glimmer of hope. You know what I mean? That's like the last glimmer of hope, you guys, that they actually had was Ashanti. Because after Pain is Love, Ja Rule's albums drastically decreased as well. Ja Rule, even at the third album, even at what I suggested for 50, not going so pop until the third album, Ja Rule waited to the third album to go majorly pop. Pain is Love, even though he did it a lot on Rule 336 as well. But he went full pop on Pain is Love, and then he really yeah, sorry, man. Sometimes people be throwing me off in the chat. Cuz do a record label told him you can't name your album after a tragedy. LOL, just told him Nas you can't name it. Salute Lily. What's up to Philly? Yeah. You know I wanted to add that album in there, Mike. You know I always want to add that album in there. I'd be bugging out when people be trying to add in like the War Angel and the Forever King, even though those projects are freaking dope. You know what I mean? Some of those 50 projects are dope. All the 50 mixtapes are really dope, but let's focus on what the albums really were. And they actually did Guess Who's Back through, what was it, Land Speed or something like that? So that was actually more of an album. Y Rez says Ja Rule had talent. Facts, Mikey. 2 of the biggest of Game songs should have been on The Massacre. Think how big that album would have been. Yeah, I mean, Hate It or Love It just makes sense for me that it would have been on The Massacre to give The Massacre more of a respectable edge. You know what I mean? Like the fact that Hate It or Love It was not cookie cutter. Hate It or Love It is real music. When we listen to 50 Cent, at the end of the day, we want real music. You know, we don't want all disco inferno. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? We don't really want all that. We need that real. We need that hustler's ambition. That's why that A and B track, whichever was what, on the Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack, Hustler's Ambition and Window Shopper, that really worked. That really worked right there. That formula that I want to say Ja Rule popularized. Having a street hold on. Having a, because you can't say Ja had a street record and a chick record out at the same time. It was more of a radio friendly cut and a chick record. Actually, I don't even know if I want to give that to Ja anymore, because the records he had out at the same time was actually Living It Up and I'm Real. And then at one point he did New York and Wonderful. You know, so but what did he do for Last Temptation? He did Thug Lovin' and Mesmerized, so it doesn't really fit the bill. What's up? What's up, Tampa, Florida? I did not go to Smurf's crib in Trinidad. When I was in Trinity with Smurf, we were actually staying at the Hyatt for like 9 days. He had me at the Hyatt for 9 days. Even though my boy Nick paid for some of it too, because my boy Nick, they were calling him Newport Nick because he had brought a bunch of Newports with him and shit like that. So they was just calling him Newport Nick the whole time that he was there and shit. And yeah, my boy Nick put in on the rooms too. So you know what I'm saying? So it's not like I was going there. But nah, I'm not even gonna front. It was a great time out there with Smurf. You know what I mean? I bought a new video camera. I spent like $1,000, maybe a little bit more on a brand new video camera. I went out there with my game face on. I went out there to get some footage. You know what I'm saying? I was building with them cats. They gave me an opportunity. I came back and I put like 12 videos on World Star Hip Hop. Shit was lit. Hopefully Smurf and I can work through all of our differences and we can just be cordial. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to have any bullshit dilemmas with anybody out there. I'm trying to come out here and put out the best content for you guys. You know what I'm saying? This is what I plan on doing, covering hip hop news. We got some shit going on. You want to ask, why is this topic coming back, Mikey? Well, why is this topic coming back? One is because this is a very important topic to all of us. You know what I'm saying? We've all followed this since we were younger. These are some of the first albums that a lot of us bought. 2003, you know what I mean? I know a lot of y'all didn't start buying albums before that. I know I was buying albums in 99. So that really wasn't all that much before that. 99, 2000, I was buying albums and shit like that. Man, that Black Rob album. How about that album, you guys? I don't even think I bought that one. I think I just found that one. And it was like, and I was like, oh shit, the Black Rob album. Taking this shit. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, everybody, for tapping in. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss these chats. Let's get back into it, though. So basically, Reek is like, when people look at the situation, they look at it like the Guerrilla Unit was gangsta and Murder Inc. had a lot of R&B. Facts. That's how a lot of people look at it. They look at it like that because of the fact that Irv Gotti and Ja Rule brought on Ashanti, and then Ashanti's music pretty much impacted what they were doing because Ja Rule was getting the sound from the Little Mo's. You know what I mean? He was linking up with J-Lo, and then Irv Gotti put two and two together, and he said, we need an R&B songstress. We need a female presence here on Murder Inc. They would later go on to add a male R&B presence, Lloyd, but that's a whole nother story. So Reek is saying when people look at the situation, they look at it like the Guerrilla Unit was gangsta and Murder Inc. had a lot of R&B. So Reek went on, but see, they paint it like Murder Inc. was the soft R&B type vibes, and G Unit was the bulletproof vest and guns and shit. Well, let me correct you there, Reek. They don't paint it like that. That's just what it was. You know what I mean? A lot of the Murder Inc. albums that were, full of gangsta cuts, they wouldn't sell as well as Ja Rule's albums that were heavily commercialized after Veni Vidi Vici. Believe me, I've listened to them all. I've heard how they've changed. I've listened to all of DMX's albums. You know what I'm saying? DMX has a few cuts in there for his family members that are loving tracks, which hit your heart. Ja Rule had a couple of those too. But Ja Rule started doing pop music. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with venturing off and doing pop music. It kind of set him aside from J and X at that point in time. And I got to show love to Ja Rule because he actually had me in his studio. Ja Rule actually had me out to the crack house in New York, in Manhattan. You know what I'm saying? And he actually introduced me to the people that he worked with. Kid brought me out to the G Unit offices. I appreciate everybody who shows me love in this game, who shows me a path. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody that shows me a path in this game. I'm going to take that. And I've got some shit for y'all coming up this week. I got a major interview coming up this week, you guys. I'm not even going to get y'all gassed up. What former affiliate of Murder Inc. I'm going to be interviewing this week, y'all. Somebody heavily featured on the Rule 336 album. The Rule 336 album. That's right, y'all. We got a big interview coming up this week. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell so the shit pops up in your phone every week when Mikey T, the movie star, goes live. Tonight, we're talking about some real shit. Reek had a dope interview with Cadillac Ty. That's right. Cadillac Ty is back on the scene, y'all. And it's dope that Cadillac Ty is finding his place back in mainstream outlets, mainstream media. He actually has a new project out. I want to say it's called Crime Bosses 2.0, Volume 2, excuse me. He has a new project out. He's getting some love. He's getting some love from 100 ENT. Shout out to Cadillac Ty, or maybe I'll call him Ty 100. Maybe I'll call him Ty 100. That's right. Cadillac Ty is making his voice known on the clubhouse scene. And it's good to see he's still doing his music. Why do I got love for Cadillac Ty, you ask? He was one of the first people who showed me love in the game, did an interview with me, welcomed me into Pav City and all that, actually took the time of day to shoot an interview with me. So, I mean, I'm going to keep it real on here. I'm going to say how I feel, just like how I'm saying how I feel about him actually getting a little bit of a lane. Wack 100 actually showing him some love. That shit is respectable. You got Reek, the A&R from 100 ENT, showing him love. That says something to me, you guys. Reek has plugs. Cadillac Ty could reach out to Reek to do something, and boom, just from being a real dude. He doesn't necessarily need to be on the label to be affiliated with the label. That's right. Shout out to Trigger Ock from G Unit. I just did an interview with Trigger Ock. Dope ass interview. Y'all need to go tap in with him if you haven't. Y'all need to go tap in with Trigger Ock if you haven't. That's my guy right there. Shout out to Black Child, another dude right there who showed me a hell of a lot of love and gave me a dope interview. Told me some crazy shit. Black Child told me, you guys, Black Child told me that he basically, when he got out of jail, he was on probation and he started working with Irv Gotti and Murder Inc. And Irv Gotti wrote him a check for $30,000 and said, yo, take this back to your probation officer and show him that you got a job. And show him that you got a job. That was some of the realest shit, man. That was some of the realest shit. Really showed me what type of a guy Irv Gotti can be. But I mean, we've heard other shit about Irv Gotti. Like one time Irv Gotti said it himself. He would not let somebody get on the phone with Ja Rule unless they sent him $50,000. Unless they sent him $50,000. And the guy's wired Irv $50,000, y'all. How wild is that, man? Yo, shout out to Mike Knox. Definitely want to have Mike Knox on the channel in the near future. Mike Knox actually did a feature on Trigger Ock's new album. That's right, Trigger Ock's new album. It's out right now. Trigger Ock's new album is out right now. Let Trigger Ox know I said, Trigger Ox. Trigger Ock. Let Mike Knox, I was going to say, what up, and tell him to come get on the show, man. I would definitely love to have Mike Knox on the show. What up, Lee May? Yeah, Knox is a real one. Humble dude. I actually spoke with Knox a bunch when he had just got out, and he was in, I want to say, a halfway house. Knox spoke with me. Real ass dude right there. I wish him all the best. Obviously, with all the chit chat out there, about Mikey T, the movie star. I'd love to have him on the show. That's all I'm going to say, really, man. Mikey, when are you going to interview 50 finally? Well, that's what I was kind of say. That's what I was kind of trying to say. You know what I mean? I'm not ever going to discredit somebody that has given me an opportunity to come into their environment, to learn more, an opportunity for me to springboard. You know what I mean? I'm not going to discredit them, but I'm also not going to be sucking up to anybody. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be on here sugarcoating shit, telling you that your album is hot, telling you that your single's hot. I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm not doing none of that D-riding just because you give me an interview. I'm going to have you on here. I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm going to keep it 100% real with you. I'm going to tell you what I think is flaw. I'm going to tell you what I think is dope. I'm going to tell you what I think would go better. I'm going to try to add in a little bit of that Mikey T sauce to what you're doing. You can take it for what it is. Some people take my advice and run with it. Some people say, oh, what the hell does he know? It is what it is, man. But when you come on here, you interact with me, you're going to get the real shit. You're not going to get some cookie cutter. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get some cheap champagne. That's not what you're getting when you come on this show. You're getting that raw and uncut. No, don't take it that way, Hassan Campbell. You know what I'm saying? You're not the only one raw and uncut. You know what I'm saying? I didn't start doing blogs when dudes just got out of jail. I've been doing blogs while dudes have been locked up the whole time. So don't be thinking I just got started on this shit last week. I've been putting my blood, my sweat, and my tears into this shit. Interviewing the people that y'all be talking about. DJ Khaled, French Montana, dudes talking about Little Durk. Dudes talking about Gilly, stealing their style. You know what I'm saying? I interviewed the dudes y'all be talking about. That's what puts me in a position to be here amongst y'all. I don't think I need to explain that again. That Mikey T sauce from UConn. Yeah, I did an interview with Trav back in the day, actually. I definitely linked up with MVP. Yo, MVP, appreciate you for tapping in, man. And yeah, I linked up with Trav back in the day. I saw Trav a few times. New Jersey Pack, actually interviewed him out there before his show. Ran into Trav when I was with Chinks at the Yo Gotti listening session or the album release party for I Am. So yeah, Trav actually gave me not a few interviews. He gave me one interview. It should be online. All you got to do is type in Mikey T, the movie star, and G Unit Trav. Yeah, Trav is a good dude, man. He's got a good heart, and I really, really liked his feature on the Lobby Boys album, y'all. Trav has a dope-ass new feature on the Lobby Boys album, but that might be politics too. For some reason, Trav doesn't want to do an interview with me. I would give Trav the best interview of his career. You know what I'm saying? I would give Tony Yayo the best interview. No disrespect to Vlad. No disrespect to Doggy Diamonds. I would give Tony Yayo the best interview of his career. You know what I'm saying? I would give Trav the best interview of his career. When people get up and step out of my interview, they're like, damn, that was the best interview of my career. That's what people say when they get done with Mikey T, the movie star. DJ Khaled is not trash. If you got a chance to be around DJ Khaled in more than one opportunity, if you got a chance to smoke some of the same weed as DJ Khaled, man, you would not be saying that type of bullshit. All these artists that spent their time dissing DJ Khaled, they're all regretting it now. They are all 100% regretting it now. When are you going to interview Banks or Yayo? Well, I had my opportunity to get a little drop from Banks, but after one of his shows, my boy actually had Lloyd Banks out to his club. So after the show, after we were done filming him and shit, I actually was trying to give all the fans an opportunity to, do their meet and greet. And obviously I was going to be able to meet Lloyd Banks because my boy owns the club and shit. So I was trying to be respectful rather than run up, you know what I mean? Run up and do all that crazy shit on Banks, because that's actually why he ended up leaving, And does Banks know that I was being ultra respectful? No, he doesn't know that. Does it matter that he doesn't know that? I mean, to a certain extent, yeah, because you miss the opportunity of seeing how respectful somebody can be, and then you sort of form a certain thought about them, which is probably wrong. but some people were being a little bit too hyper, coming up to Banks for a second time. Banks realized they were kind of drunk. He realized they were kind of drunk, and he moved on from that, you guys. And he's like, yo, I got to get out of here. He's like, so I was like, damn, all right, there goes the opportunity with Lloyd Banks. Even though my dude is the one who actually paid him to come to the nightclub, my dude is the one who owned the nightclub. You know what I'm saying? But you don't just go on and dwell about that shit. This is the first time I'm ever talking about that shit publicly. This is the first time I'm ever talking about that shit publicly. I don't dwell on that shit. It just is what it is. Banks has reached out to me in other situations like, yo, take that video down. Or just like, he didn't appreciate the video. I was like, yo, you want me to take that shit down? I'll take that shit down. I'm not like these other bloggers. I'm real when it comes to this shit. Did Lloyd Banks give me an interview after that? Should he have given me an interview after that? That's up to it's. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. When I get on the level that I'm heading for, you bet your ass I'll have Lloyd Banks on my platform. When I get to the level that I'm heading to, I'll put in that call to 50 Cent to have him on the show. When I get to the level I'm going to, y'all are going to see so much different growth from me. Exactly. Some fans can be wild. So that's why I respected it. You know what I mean? And there were other fans there who needed a chance to see Lloyd Banks. You know what I mean? I'm not going to call anything out, but there were some other fans there who needed a chance to see Lloyd Banks. Appreciate you, Boogie. Appreciate you, bro. But let's get back to the news. Because there's some shit. There's some shit here. Caddy's about to call out 50. So, Reek is like, but you see, they painted like Murder Inc. was soft R&B type vibes, and G-Unit was the bulletproof vest and guns and shit. When 50 made that split, like this is what we on and this is what they on, that kind of swayed the people to be like, yeah, you're right. But before 50 and all that other shit, people were messing with Ja Rule crazy. Yeah, man. Yeah, people were messing with Ja crazy. I kind of feel like a lot of people out there were kind of, big on Ja Rule. A lot of people thought Ja Rule was the biggest rapper at the time. A lot of people thought Ja Rule had the best feature at the time. If Ja Rule had a verse on the track, you were going to wait to hear it. And that all kind of started from Can I Get A? You know what I'm saying? Now, this content tonight is great. So, Mike Knox, what up, OG? Appreciate you, Mike. Oh, shit. I thought you were just giving a shout out to I Smell Pussy. Is that you, Ty? Mike Knox, what up, G's? Nah, I was just shouting you out, bro. A lot of people always be in my live saying, yo, Mike Knox is the man. So I'm like, yeah, Mike Knox is the man. I was just shouting out you on Trigger Ox new project. But let me get back into this. All right, so Cadillac Ty was like, when people seen the Get Rich or Die Trying album cover and he got shot all them times, and dudes' minds, they felt like this dude was all kinds of crazy. This dude was in all kinds of crazy shootouts in the hood, and he caught the shit end. Nah, believe it or not, that's probably his one and only encounter with the same type of gunfire. He never has been a pistol man. Tonight, we're actually talking about Cadillac Ty, Wack 100 affiliate, Murder Inc. affiliate, Cadillac Ty speaking on 50 Cent. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's MK now, baby. It's MK now. Damn, I'm out of juice. Call him MK now. I got to get Mike Knox on the show, but I don't think Mike Knox will come on the show. I rock with you, Mikey, but can we talk some current hip hop? This is actually current. This is a conversation that took place the other day with Reek, CEO Reek, and Cadillac Ta. And also, we're talking about Frenchie tonight. Blaze it up. He won't, because it seems like you've got it out for 50 Cent. Yeah, from the outside looking in, maybe it does seem like I've got it out for 50 Cent. That's what a lot of people seem to think. That's why my guy Trigger Ock was like, yo, bro, you need to jump on the internet and let everybody know that you don't got hate for G Unit and 50 Cent. And you know what I mean? I'd never wanted to see nothing but those dudes win. You know what I'm saying? That's why I went to the store and purchased Tony Yayo's album. That's why I try to help people where I can. You know what I'm saying? Mike Knox could probably tell you that we was on the phone a couple times and shit like that. I would have loved to do an interview with Mike Knox. Trigger Ock, I'm not going to deny him the opportunity to get promotion for his new project, Trigonometry. I want to see him grow. I want to see him make noise in New York City. This even goes back to the early days of G Unit, though. I wanted to see, like, this is why I wanted to come on and let the world know about this shit. But a lot of people were in the live the other day and they were like, yo, Mikey T, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be in here if I knew you didn't mess with G Unit. You know what I mean? They were like, yo, if you were a 50 Cent hater, I would not be in here. Some people get it twisted like I didn't interview 40 Glock in 2011. People get it twisted like I didn't interview 40 Glock or I didn't go and interview Kid in 2016. They think just because I interviewed Bang'em Smurf that I'm going against G Unit for life. You kidding me right now? I done met 50 Cent face to face. I met 50 Cent face to face and asked him for an interview. 50 didn't say some shit to me like, yo, you're Bang'em Smurf's little homie. 50 never said no shit like that to me. 50 doesn't even know that I rock with Bang'em Smurf like that. I met 50 face to face. I was like, yo, Fifth, what's up? Mikey T, the movie star. I want to get an interview with you. I've been doing interviews since like 2009. That's how I hit 50. I've been doing interviews for 10 plus years. You know, 50 didn't look at me and say, yo, you're Bang'em Smurf's homie. Da 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 da. Nah, 50 looked at me and he was like, he wanted to do the interview because he could see the hunger in my eyes. But he looked over at another associate and he was like, we just turned down channel 12. We just turned down channel 12. And 50 told me you couldn't do the interview. Now, I made a little bit of a scene then. I was like, yo, 50, man, I'm in the mud with this shit. I'm in the dirt with this shit. You know what I mean? So 50 I kind of like didn't get the interview with 50 that day. It sucked. I respect it. He turned down channel 12. It is what it is. Mike Knox said, we running around getting the bags. MK said, we running around getting the bags. Ain't no wreck out here. Stay up. We different in traffic. Hashtag the unit. Salute to Mike Knox. Hopefully I could do an exclusive interview with him in the future. If not, it's no biggie. I know they're busy doing work and shit like that. But y'all can tap in with Mike Knox's page right there, y'all. Tap in with Mike Knox's page. Just because I can't get his Instagram at the moment, because I can't get his Instagram at the moment. But yeah, man, I'm sick of people thinking it's beef with G Unit just because I'm coming on here and reporting news. People act like my first interview was with Bang'em Smurf. My first interview was with Freaky Zeke, and it was on World Star Hip Hop. My second interview was with Domination, and it was on World Star Hip Hop. That one was actually Domination says Maserati Fox isn't G Unit, though. That one was with Domination. He said Maserati Fox wasn't G Unit. So, I mean, but Maserati Fox wasn't G Unit. What do you expect? I'm putting out the realest news on the internet, damn it. If I can't put out the realest news, I might as well quit. Did he have a G Unit contract? Where you at, Queens Flip? Where you at, Queens Flip? Jeez. Censor Mikey T. That's what they want to do. Censor Mikey T. I'm sick of being censored. I'm sick of being censored. I feel like Max B when he was signed to Jim Jones. I want to be Amalgam Digital Max B. I want 95% creative control. Bro, I'm just hitting y'all with facts. Let me get back to it. So, listen, Reek, Cadillac Ty, right? He said, that's where the misconception was, that this dude was wild and run around and slinging his iron, and he got caught in the shit end of it in the battles, but that was far from the truth. So he's kind of trying to say that 50 Cent really wasn't getting caught up in any action, when in reality, from the last situation I remember happening, now I'm just bringing this back to facts, you know what I mean? Because like I said, I call this shit down the middle. I present facts from both ends of the spectrum. You know what I mean? I come at you with facts from both sides. Now, the last story I actually heard about Cadillac Ty and 50 Cent was a story that was spoken on by Bangum Smurf and Cadillac Ty. After I brought it to light, of course, it was blown up on the internet. Cadillac Ty, his significant other was wearing a Murder Inc. shirt, and she got caught up in G Unit territory, right? So she got caught up in G Unit territory. Cadillac Ty pulled back up to G Unit territory in the Cadillac. Yo, bro, you up out of here, man. You up out of here, bro. Don't be commenting in my chat like, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, dude made me lose my point and shit like that. Cadillac Ty pulled up on the G Unit block. He pulled up on the G Unit block. He wanted to know what was good. Who did he want to talk to? He wanted to talk to 50 Cent. He wanted to talk to 50 Cent, you guys. So if 50 Cent ain't that dude, if 50 Cent ain't living that lifestyle that he portrayed to us, why did you go to the G Unit block and want to talk to 50 Cent? It's pretty evident right there. If I'm going to be hard on one side, if I'm going to give it to one side, if I'm going to grill one side, I got to give it to the other side the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just being 100% real. I want to be accurate when I'm talking about this. He pulled up because 50 was going to deal with whoever did something inappropriate in the hood. 50 ended up smacking one of the G Unit associates, allegedly. I don't know who it was. Don't know which G Unit member it was. I'm not really sure. That's allegedly what happened. So that right there kind of goes against what Cadillac Ty is saying here. Now, I mean, shit. These guys have been embroiled in a beef for past 20 years. Not a literal beef in the sense, but a definite dislike for one another. So Cadillac Ty was actually asked, Ja Rule stopped putting out music. Was it because 50 was running him off, or legally because he stopped making music? This is the big question here about why Ja Rule and all them stopped making music. Was it the feds? Was the interest? It was the interest. It was the interest. Yes, Ja Rule was making a ton of music, but then he came out with The Last Temptation. Dude, that's what I do. That's what I do, bro. It's comical, plus it's very serious. Come on, bro. MVP, you never been in here before, bro? You got to get used to this shit. Why didn't I ask Cadillac Ta about it? And bro, I did an interview with Cadillac Ta in 2010. Cadillac Ta was one of the first people that gave me an interview when I actually linked up with him. We spoke on some real shit. We spoke on when Cadillac Ta got his opportunity. And, you know, Cadillac Ta's had a single that was produced and put on the Fast and the Furious album. How long you going to babysit that bud, Mikey T? Well, you know, I'm kind of in the middle of a long-winded story right now. Kind of in the middle of a story right now. You know, I like to get my shit out before I'd be smoking all my weed. So Cadillac Ta was asked about why Ja Rule stopped putting out music. So let's look at the singles from The Last Temptation. He had Thug Lovin' with Bobby Brown. Should have been really Ja Rule and Usher. You know what I mean? Then he came out with Mesmerized with Ashanti, and then he put out Murder Reigns. That's when you knew it was over, when he dropped that Murder Reigns joint. You know what I mean? That's when you knew it was a wrap, when he put out Murder Reigns. It was like, really, man? It was like, this is not the Ja Rule that we know. This is the Ja Rule that's putting on a front. You know what I mean? This is the Ja Rule that's putting on a front for us. And we saw more of that. We saw more of that when New York came out, or not even. We saw more of that when Clapback came out. We saw more of that when Crown came out, the whole Blood in My Eye album. And you could tell the reflection of the sales. 110,000 copies. 110,000 copies. Why did they rush him to put out that album? Why didn't they just let Ja Rule be Ja Rule? Why didn't they just let Ja be Ja? So let's get to Cadillac Ta's answer about this whole situation. How did he run him off from getting the biggest bag he got in his life? It was legal issues. It was a lot of hate and shit. And to top off the legal issues, I tell this story like how even Wack know. The same way Wack be saying about the whole pool of the radio and the DJs. When there's a whole vibe against someone to not be on the radio and not get a buzz, there's a whole network of them together that can control that, and they can control whether your shit can spin and whether it doesn't. Yeah, Wack be talking a lot about that radio shit. Wack be talking a lot about that radio shit. But I mean, when you're not giving them music to spin, when you're giving them Mesmerized, which is a carbon copy of the last 4 Ja Rule singles, the last 6 Ja Rule singles, it's going to get spun a lot less. When you give them a single with Bobby Brown on it, you know what I mean? Not everything is going to work. Not everything is going to work like I'm Real. I mean, shit, they even got a taste of that with Ain't It Funny. They even got a taste of that with Ain't It Funny. But this brings me back to back in the day. An alleged phone call when Jennifer Lopez was working with 50. 50 worked with Beyonce. 50 worked with Beyonce, right? Thug Love, Power of the Dollar album, supposed to be the next single and all that, before Destiny's Child was really the shit. Or when was that? Was Bugaboo out yet? Was Bills out yet? Somebody let me know for time reference in the chat. And somebody pay my super chat bills. Somebody pay my super chat bills. bro. Damn right. Yup. So 50 was working with J-Lo. I mean, J-Lo actually must have her ears to the street because, J-Lo actually worked with French Montana a few years ago, many years ago, a few years ago, like 5 years ago, something like that. They worked together on a song called, I think it was called I Love You, Poppy, or something like that. So J-Lo must have her ears to the street, especially if she gets 50, or she got that cheap joint because you know what 50 said. He said, "Come get it now while it's 40 a pop." Any of these big celebrities probably loving it when you can get a record for 40,000 real quick. Oh, 40,000, 50. 40,000, 50. Come do the whole album. That's why Puff had him in there shooting or doing probably. If I had to guess what 50 was doing for Puff, it would probably have been Forever. No disrespect, Fifth. No disrespect, Fifth. I think it's in that time frame of when Fifth might have worked with Puff. And everybody knows the Forever album really, really was regarded as like the worst Puff Daddy album. I mean, unless people think that Last Train to Paris is worse now. Because is that a good chat poll right there? Last Train to Paris versus Forever? Because, I mean, No Way Out, classic. But we all know that Biggie was actually supposed to be Diddy's, CEO. Biggie was taking Puff on as his own artist. Puff was shying away from being an artist because I kind of feel like Puff was always going to do it, but maybe if he didn't need to do it, nah, it's not like that. Puff was shying away for it because it wasn't the right time, but Biggie was trying to put the spotlight on him. But yeah, so Jennifer Lopez had a song called It's Gonna Be All Right. It's Gonna Be All Right, I believe it was called. Is that what it's called, you guys? It's Gonna Be All Right? And it originally featured 50 Cent. You can literally go online and hear the song featuring 50 Cent, Jennifer Lopez and 50 Cent. Yeah, I'm not going to say any of the lyrics and shit, but I can remember that shit in my head. I can remember some of 50's lyrics from that shit in my head. What kind of a look would it have been for 50 to get these vibes? You know what I mean? What kind of a look would it have been for Fifth to get that vibe with Jennifer Lopez? You know what I mean? It would have, before he came onto the scene so crazy like he did. 50 didn't really need it. I mean, it would have been great for him back then. Just like it was great that he got the opportunity to work with Columbia. You know what I mean? But he just had such bigger things on the horizon, you guys. 50 had much bigger things on the horizon. But yeah, we're going to be talking about G Unit, Brick Squad affiliate, Frenchie. Really sucks, man. I had an opportunity to meet Frenchie, interview Frenchie. Really sucks to see him caught up in this predicament. I would have always liked to seen him take off on either one of those brands, man. I know 50 was doing a lot with G Unit back in the day, and at a certain point in time, I could have seen Frenchie figured into that. At another point in time, Frenchie was obviously right up under Gucci Mane. You know what I'm saying? They actually all ventured down. Deb took off. They all ventured down to Atlanta. They really made a name for themselves. They got right up under Gucci Mane. So to see Frenchie actually getting involved in a situation like this, I guess they're saying it's a home invasion. They ran into a house. They were expecting to find a bunch of chronic. I guess they were expecting to find like $100K worth of chronic in there, man. These dudes were about to be set. Man. They, like Biggie said, I got 5 blunts left tonight. I'm set tonight. You know what I'm saying? They was about to be set, man. It's just really unfortunate to see that Frenchie's actually been going through this for quite some time. It's really unfortunate to see that he's been going through this for quite some time. I'm somebody that actually watched Frenchie's career, from the time where he was kind of unknown as hell to right when he got all that spotlight, and he didn't get the spotlight with the G Unit crew or anything like that. He didn't get the spotlight with them. He got the spotlight with Gucci Man. You know what I mean? Another guy that actually got some spotlight with Gucci Man was Maserati Fox. That was very interesting to see them speaking that one time, and it would have been cool to see if a project could have transpired. It would have been cool to see if a project could have transpired, just because that ATL New York vibe, it was there. You could tell that it was there. It was pretty cool too, man. It would have been something to really get. It would have been something to really get Maserati Fox into a mainstream appeal. Brooklyn's in the house. What's popping? What is popping, y'all? Appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Bro, Fat Cat, put some respect on Frenchie's name, man. He's going through a shitty situation right now, man. He's going through a shitty situation. The fact of the matter is, a lot of us watched Frenchie grind from young. You know what I mean? A lot of us watched Frenchie grind from young, from when the dude was filming videos inside of Walmart. You know what I mean? But they were actually popping. You know what I mean? These dudes was popping, just going buying white tees. He was starting the whole vlogging thing. Frenchie actually did a bunch of shit too when he was coming up in the New York scene. He actually had Trippie Redd. He was filming with Trippie Redd. He was doing a lot of different work with a lot of different upcoming artists. I just got a lot of respect for Frenchie, man. The fact that he let me get an interview with him. I actually linked up with him back in the day as well. Back in the day and shit, through DJ Lazy K and all that. Like I said, I met Frenchie back in the day with G Baby. Let me see. Yeah, Slim Duncan was dope. Slim Duncan was definitely dope, man. What you smoking on tonight? You didn't even tell us, bro. That's what we do when you tap in the chat. First thing you do is you let us know where you're from and what you're smoking on. What's up, Jason in the house? New York City, Maryland. Have a blessed hell yeah, Jason. Appreciate you for tapping in tonight, man. We're just going over a couple different things tonight. Cadillac Ty was on with Wack 100. 100 ENT CEO Reek, and he was having a conversation about 50. We're speaking about that, but we're also speaking on Brick Squad, G Unit affiliate Frenchie. That's right, Brick Squad Frenchie is facing 25 after his conviction. It's crazy to think that he's facing 25 years, you guys. Like, it's absolutely crazy. I believe some of his associates have already been sentenced. Trying to see if I can. Yes, one of his associates was sentenced to 9 years, you guys. One of his associates was facing 9 years. And there's still a few of the guys that were involved at large. So a few of them haven't actually been caught at this point in time. Yeah, Davion, that was the thing. They actually went into the wrong house. They were expecting to get a bunch of chronic, which is crazy to me. I mean, but I've heard of shit like that before. You know what I mean? But when you hear about a former rapper doing that shit, I mean, I don't even want to call him a former rapper. Once they get sentenced, though, they be putting that title in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Former R&B singer. You know what I'm saying? Former music recording artist. That type of shit, man. Hold on, I think my guy told us where he actually was. Roosevelt. Oh, Roosevelt, Long Island. Salute, Long Island. I don't know all these flavors. I just know it's gas. Jason said he's on that sour diesel tonight. You know I'm on that runts tonight. Where's my L, man? I stopped smoking, but I got to smoke one for Frenchie right now. I got to take a moment, man. Sometimes when I be thinking about my guys in jail, I be taking a moment. I be taking a smoke break for them. You know what I'm saying? Some people be pouring out some liquor for the homies that pass on. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I be in the car. I be driving. I'm like, yo, I'm going to take a little smoke break for my dog locked up. Daisy said she's on that NYC gelato, purple something. Gelato's good. Gelato's good. I think that's actually what Runts is mixed with. Is it gelato and Skittles? Bruce said he used to hear about Frenchie running around in Long Island. Yeah, Frenchie was doing his thing when it came to shooting videos. He was running, and when he was running around touring with different people. You know, when he was actually running around touring with Waka Flocka, he would do a lot of things, link with a lot of different artists to make, make impressions in different areas. That's one thing Frenchie was doing accurately. You know, he had a relationship with World Star, much like I want to say J Hood did, where J Hood was releasing tons of videos on World Star. Frenchie was releasing tons of videos on World Star. And we were really just waiting for something to connect, kind of like how Waka Flocka had Oh Let's Do It. Well, Davion, the thing was Gucci Man went to jail. Davion says once Gucci stopped fooling with them boys, it all went bad. Damn. If you look at it, I mean, Waka Flocka still had a bit of a run, but Waka Flocka was never able to get that. He was never able to get the Flockavelli 2 album out, was he, you guys? I'm not sure. Did he ever release Flockavelli 2? And if so, did he ever follow that up with anything? So, that's a pretty obvious thing that happened for the Brick Squad guys once Gucci started beefing with Waka Flocka, and then Gucci went to jail, and him and Waka still didn't end things. And then it really goes back to when Gucci Man, I believe, got a deal with Warner Brothers Music. Gucci got a deal much like Rick Ross had a deal for MMG with Warner Brothers Music, and he kind of flopped that deal because they weren't releasing Waka projects and they weren't releasing Frenchie projects. And I don't know if Slim Duncan was attached to that, you know what I mean? Or if it was more of a releasing a 1017 album compilation. But the ball was kind of dropped in the Gucci Man album situation when it came to him getting that major distribution deal. Later, it would turn over to Rick Ross getting the major distribution deal with Warner, and they would even then move MMG from Warner to Atlantic Records. Kind of interesting. Kind of interesting when you look at all of it like that. But we're not talking about that tonight. Tonight we're speaking on Frenchie. It's a really tragic situation to see him involved in, man. You know, I really wouldn't have thought that he was getting. I wasn't thinking this, you guys. You know what I mean? I did an interview with Frenchie probably. It must have been before the pandemic. Wow. So it must have been 2019. Yeah, it must have been before the pandemic. So it must have been in 2019. I really wasn't thinking that anything was going on like this, with a guy like Frenchie, you know. Really sucks to see one of his associates sentenced to 9 years. So when you judge it a little bit by that, you can see that Frenchie quite possibly is facing close to a decade of incarceration. maybe a half a decade, maybe 5 years, 6 years, hopefully. We'll have to wait and see if we get that report. Damn, Royal Blue, man, you're gonna get up out the chat like that then? All right. Peace out to your comment too, bro. Like, what? You're gonna come in here and say the chat doesn't know what they're doing? I see all the votes in the chat. I'm gonna direct my attention to the poll real quick. Because I want to check out how this polling is going right now. Do you think that 50 Cent was real or Murder Inc. was real? That's the poll right now. Do you think 50 was real or do you think Murder Inc. was real? Was 50 in G Unit or Murder Inc.? A lot of people might not understand what G Unit actually was, who G Unit actually started with, who the founding members of G Unit was. Hell, who the hell 50 Cent was. A lot of people might not know those things. Sorry, but if you don't know about 50, if you haven't read From Pieces to Weight, if you don't really know about 50, if you don't really know about those other three guys that he was associated with, maybe it was four. Then you need to watch some more of my videos. Then you need to watch a little bit closer than you think you're watching. Wild Beast says, the poll speaks the truth. Ja was soft and Irv is the biggest cornball in the game. All they had was Supreme's backing. 50 in them was really in the trenches. Interesting comment right there. You know what I mean? One dude said the poll was all the way off. You know what I mean? Okay, so you're going to discount the fact that Tony Yayo was locked up for the whole start of G Unit's run? Oh, whoa. Let me pull back a little bit because Chris Black was actually locked up for the whole first part of Murder Inc.'s run. If you guys remember, Chris Black was actually doing snippets and freestyles on the Rule 336 album. Yeah, you cannot alter the poll. But my issue was like he's just gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna say screw everybody in the poll, screw everybody voting for the poll. I mean, it's like, yo, have a little bit more respect for the chat. Like you can come in here and you can discuss some things. You know what I mean? You can come in here and you can say what you want to say. You can prove your point. You can validate your point if you want to. Cadillac Ty actually said what he wanted to say on the 100 ENT show. Let me see real quick. Oh shit. Davion, what's up? So Reek asked Caddy a pretty cool question. Reek asked Caddy a pretty cool question. He said it was a pretty cool question, you guys. What's going on, Lily? What up, Lily? Sorry, I'm blazing right now. Damn. Wild Beast. Is it Wild Beast or Wildebeest? Wild Beast says, I mean, probably some of them. Cadillac Ty and Black Child was thugging, but 50 and Smurfing them in the early days was the real bullies. What? My man, Wild Beast calling out Bang'em Smurf 50. Bang'em Smurf and 50 together. Man, Bang'em Smurf and 50 Cent together was kind of like Pac and Suge, right? Am I bugging right now? Let's do a new poll. I got a dope poll right here. Let's do a new poll. We're going to do the better duo poll. We're going to do the better duo. I want anybody in here in the chat, put it up who you got as the duo. I want to know. I need one more person in here to do a better duo. Because I got 3. Let's see. So we got Okay. Let's see. Do we got any? Nobody has any suggestions? Okay. I guess we're going to have to go. Guess we got to go with that one. The best duo. Who's going to get the best duo? The best hip-hop duo award? I might have to do the Mikey T, the Movie Star Awards. I might have to do the awards. Damn it. Bilo, you were too late on Ghost and Kiss. But this is more of a, damn it. Suge and Tupac are running this shit right now. Dre Snoop. This isn't necessarily rap, though. This is kind of more like Protege. Oh, my God. It is Will the Beast, isn't it? Smiles and South Star. You got to be kidding me. They would fit on this list. But we got some of the best hip-hop duos right here. We got Suge Knight and we got Tupac. Vote in the poll if you haven't. This is more of a relationship. I'm looking more at the relationship that the two guys have more than being rap partners, or it would be Mobb Deep. It would be Dre and Snoop. It would be, you know what I mean, Jada and Styles P. That's the list we would have if that was going to be it. French and Max B. You know what I mean? That's the list we would have if it was going to be looking at the rap specifically. But I'm looking more at the relationship. Suge Knight came and got Tupac out of jail. Suge Knight arguably produced Tupac's best album, All Eyes on Me. He arguably came into Tupac's life and produced his best album. We got Puff and Biggie. Puff came, changed Biggie's life. Biggie made Puff, he gave Puff Daddy's career integrity. He gave his career integrity when Puffy would go around to all these people and say, I have the best shit. When he went to McDonald's, but more importantly than that, but that's a major endorsement. So there's not much more that's important than that. Endorsements are everything. But Puff went around to all of these different buildings, these labels. Look where he got. He went to Arista. He ended up with Interscope. He went to so many different type of labels. You know what I mean? He went to so many different artists and he preached his cause, and look where he is today. He made it work. Jay and Dame is another great one. The business association right there, from the label to the clothing to the alcohol. You know what I mean? Just to name a few. I'm pretty sure they have some other shit that we didn't even really know about. Let me see. So then you got 50 and Yayo. Obviously, a lot of people look at 50 and Yayo in a certain way. You know, a lot of people look at 50 and Yayo in a certain way, man. They obviously go back being with each other through thick and thin. You know what I mean? Yayo was one of the guys there who he made one of the most famous freestyles about when he had infamously heard of 50 getting shot. Then I heard 50 shot. They ran up on 50 spot. Yeah. I seen like 50 cops. Yeah, Yayo. The good and the bad in the Cash Money tour. Yeah. Tony Yayo was on some shit on that freestyle. Go look that one up, man. Yayo was really around 50 from the beginning of all this shit, when 50 really started doing his music and shit. Even before G-Unit was together as a group, Yayo was there supporting what 50 was doing. Slim and Baby is another good one, Randy. And then we got Ja Rule and Irv Gotti. Obviously, Irv Gotti, the guy who came and got Jay, he got X, he got Ja, put them all together, tried to get that whole group together. I believe he got them all together on Veni Vidi Vici. You know what I mean? He actually got them all together on Mike Geronimo's album as well. Salute to Mike Geronimo. That's one of the artists that Irv Gotti actually worked with early on as well. Irv was on some shit. Irv found his superstar. 50 was trying to do that with Tony Yayo as well, giving him an opportunity. You know, Tony Yayo wanted to be bigger than 50 Cent, just as big as 50 Cent. You got to respect that. You got to respect the fact that he was out there grinding, wanting to sell that many records, going on tour, shows, doing hundreds of shows a year. You know what I mean? To touch that many people. Look at what we saw. I heard stories about Biggie and Puff. My friend would always tell me about how Biggie and Puff would go shoe shopping together. And it was like, he just made it seem like it was the coolest shit in the world to me. You know what I mean? The coolest type of shit, as friends would go out there and be buying shoes together. I could just picture Big and Puff doing that together, even though we didn't really have the video footage of it, you know what I mean, to really see it and shit like that. But my dude was just kind of telling me about it back then, and I was like real young, and he was like telling me about the shit, and I was just sort of, it was before you could really see that shit on TV and shit. It was cool. And then you look at Suge and Pac. I mean, as controversial as their relationship is, you know what I mean, as controversial as it is, there's people that just know when you think about one, you think about the other. You know, we'll have to see what happens in the future with Suge Knight's film or his book, whatever he has coming out. You know, Suge Knight, is always one of the people who is releasing new information about Pac. Some stuff that we really haven't seen. We've seen other shit about Pac released, and other people do albums from him though. Busta and Spliff Star, I like it. I like it. Busta and Spliff Star. Yeah, Spliff always be with Busta. Yep, exactly. Yep, Mike Geronimo had that joint Time to Build that was featuring all of those artists. I actually got the chance to ask Mike Geronimo about that. I was like, yo, what was Irv trying to do when he put that record together with you, Jay, X, and Ja? Was he like he was trying to go platinum, obviously, right? He was trying to sell 1 million records, obviously, right? And when come on, man, you're going to put Mike Geronimo in a position to sell 1 million records? It's a real dude right there. You know what Mike Geronimo did? You know what Mike Geronimo did? He was working with 50 Cent as well. Mike Geronimo and 50 Cent. Y'all know the record. Evil That Men Do, with Dark Side on it as well. Yeah, man. Mike Geronimo, even though he was in a relationship, had a deep relationship with Irv Gotti, was right there getting helped out by Jay-Z at certain points in his life, well respected by CNN. Mike Geronimo worked with 50 Cent. And that's some big shit right there, you guys. That's some big shit right there. A lot of the legends that blessed 50 Cent's albums. You know what I mean? A lot of the legends that actually worked with 50 Cent. It showed how much capability he had in the game. Yeah, Mike actually told me that he was in the studio. Mike Geronimo actually told me that he was in the studio with Ja Rule, I think. You guys can go check that interview out on my page, though. Pretty dope to see what Irv was doing to make that Murder Inc. group work. You know what I mean? You put them on this record right here that you're producing, and then you continue to move with it. Just so happened that it didn't really work out with Jay-Z and DMX, being that, you know, a lot we have seen what has happened over the times. We've seen what has happened over the times when guys get bigger offers. You know what I mean? When you get an offer from a label, they're like, yo, Mikey T, I want to give you $3 million. Then you got somebody else who's like, hey, Mikey T, I got this dude who's going to give you, I got this label that's going to give you $3 million. All right, so what are you telling me, man? What are you telling me? They just offered me $3 million. And you got to be telling me that they're offering me $4 million. You know what I'm saying? The next label is going to have to offer me $4 million. If that's what you're telling, if I'm going to have to go through you and you're going to have to actually take a percentage of my $4 million, you know what I mean? If you're taking your 20% or your 10% or whatever it is, I'm going to need to come up with a little bit more than $3 million. They was all jealous of Tupac. I don't know about that, man. When I look at that board, of legends, there's really no room for jealousy there, man. You know what I'm saying? There's really no room for jealousy. The Death Row Collective, probably just as strong, I would have to say, as the NWA Collective. When you've got Easy, Dre, and Cube, and then when you had Death Row, you had Pac, Snoop, and Dre. Like, it was pretty much right there. You know what I mean? As far as the capability of all of the people. Dre dragged over, obviously. Dre dragged over. Was doing he was behind things in a whole nother way. He was solo. Just like Cube went solo, but Cube would go on to do bigger things than just being solo. Cube would go on to kind of do what 50's doing. You know what I mean? Cube would go on to kind of do what 50's doing, but he was more accepted in front of the camera. You know, it was like, okay, Cube doesn't need to direct movies. Cube is the actor. Cube can act in any role. If Cube needs to be a badass, Cube can be a badass. We'll throw him in Triple X. You know, we'll throw him in Torque. You know what I'm saying? If Cube needs to be the funny guy, we got him in all types of funny movies, all about the Benjamins. You know what I mean? We got him. We can do the next Friday. They did next Friday. They did Friday. They did Friday after next. They had him for those. We need the wholesome Cube. Are we there yet? You know what I mean? We need Cube to actually play a teacher. They even had him playing a teacher. What's next for Ice Cube? I think he needs to make his dramatic turn. I think Ice Cube needs to come back in a movie and really just prove that he can act now. I really like what Ice Cube's son is doing. He did a great job. He did a great job in his own. He did a great job in Straight Outta Compton, but he also did a great job in the 50 Cent movie with Gerard Butler, Den of Thieves. Den of Thieves, right? Yeah, Den of Thieves. That was a pretty cool movie. You know what I'm saying? But I want to see yeah. Ice Cube is working on a new Are We There Yet? Is he really? I think they filmed two, right? I think that I really thought for the longest time they were going to keep that at two. Like it was going to be one of those two type of joints. You know, Are We There Yet? Are We Done Yet? I really liked what he did with Kevin Hart on those two movies. He did great work with Kevin Hart on those two movies. Mikey, you should start interviewing upcoming artists. Well, my guy actually who does the Hip Hop Battle League in Philly was actually telling me I need to get a little bit more incorporated with what they're doing on the battle rap scene in Philly. I would really like to actually start interviewing some of those artists before they go into battles. But I'm going to continue doing hip hop news. I do that. I always do interviews, but I also do hip hop news. I always cover major events. Like tonight, I'm covering what happened with Frenchie. Tonight, I'm also speaking on a conversation with Reek and Cadillac Toss going on 50 Cent, speaking on the Get Rich or Die Trying cover, speaking on everything that happened with 50, even involving the Hit Factory altercation. Yep, the Hit Factory altercation. Cadillac Top basically said, you're not going to find any tapes of G Unit running off Murder Inc. You're not going to find tapes of G Unit running off Murder Inc. But you can get the tapes from the Hit Factory. Somebody needs to get those tapes. Somebody needs to get those tapes, you guys. Somebody seriously needs to get those tapes. That would be hilarious if somebody had those tapes. Why wouldn't 50 already have those tapes, though? You know what I mean? I mean, we've heard the story of what happened at the Hit Factory from so many different people. You know, we've even heard it from Benzino, who now, well, you know, man, some people just want acknowledgement, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Some people just want acknowledgement and shit like that, but it's 2023. You're not going to see 50 Cent popping up doing songs with random ass dudes. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to see 50 Cent popping up doing songs with random ass dudes. It's just not going to happen. If you see 50 Cent getting on a song, it's going to be with Moneybagg Yo. It's going to be with a Lil Durk. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be with Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be with artists that are actually relevant, artists that actually make sense for 50 to work with. Look how he worked with Young Jeezy on his last attempt to actually come out with an album. 50 is working with artists that have proven sales history. Wildebeest. I thought it was just 100K worth of bud, though. I thought it was just bud that was involved in the Frenchie situation. I thought it was just bud that was in the Jim Jones, or not the Jim Jones situation, the Frenchie situation. But then they pull up to the wrong crib. Oh my God. They pull up to the wrong crib, you guys. They literally pull up to the wrong crib. Oh my God. Imagine. Just put you guys self back to a situation that you've been in before. And then you pull up to the wrong crib. But everybody's already inside, right? So you're in the whip, right? Just picture yourself being the one in the whip. So I'm in the whip now. You're probably smoking a little bit. You're like, yo, I'm finna have mad bud. I'm smoking. That shit's gonna help me on my getaway drive shit. I'm about to be driving. What's going on? Why are these guys taking so long? Oh man, they just must be getting all that bud together. They're getting that shit right, ready. And they better not be taking a pee out, not be telling me about a pee, something like that. They coming down with 20 peas, but there was really 30 peas. You know what I'm saying? I'm just paranoid, man. A few minutes go by. What's going on with these guys, man? They're kind of taking a really long time. Yo, man, we went to the wrong crib. Drive. What you mean you went to the wrong crib? What the hell? What do you mean? Where's all the bud? There's no bud, man. We were at the wrong crib. This seems to happen in a lot of cases. You know what I mean? This seems to happen in a lot of cases in the New York, New Jersey area. You know what I mean? Because the housing, I guess, is just so much different. You know what I mean? The housing is just so much different. I even heard about some cases like this when it comes to hotels. I just don't get it. You know what I mean? You pull up to the wrong hotel. You pull up to the wrong crib. Wow. How does that work? How does that work? You put yourself in jail. I'm sorry to make light of the situation like that, you guys. I know it's a very, very tragic situation for everybody involved, man. Not just because we're losing an entertainer that we've witnessed his career, everybody involved in the situation. You know what I mean? It's just tragic all the way around that he'd be forced to be involved in this type of situation in life. If he was involved in that shit, that the people that the shit happened to, you know what I mean? That they now have to be involved with it. All the shit is just bad. You know what I mean? We shouldn't have to see entertainers actually come out and have to be doing shit like this, man. And that's really what I got to say about that, man. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? It's a shitty situation all the way around. Frenchie's one of his associates in this, got 9 years. So that kind of gives us a balance. They're saying 25. They're saying 25 years. One of his associates was given 9. You know what I mean? They always try to say it is going to be the most time, though. That's what they always do. They always try to throw the most amount of time at you. That's what they always try to put in the headlines, you guys. I would always say certain things, but I've never been involved with a situation like this. You know what I mean? I would always say you usually get 10% of that time. Like if they're trying to throw 20 at you, you would at least get 2. You know what I mean? But I've seen some situations play out in the last few years with people involved in different cases getting 50 years, more time, getting 30 years, 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Ridiculous amounts of time. That's why I try to use what one of his co-defendants was given, the 9 years, and try to put that in perspective. Yes, even worse. It was 100K worth of bud. Nightman says Mike Geronimo was hot Mikey. He was getting up there with Biggie at once. Mike Geronimo's dope, man. I really appreciated the fact that I got to do an interview with Mike. I want to have him back on the channel again. You know, I actually just tapped into one of his lives. Oh yeah, Lobby Boys is a dope duo, but I would put them more in the rap category. I'm kind of right here. I'm looking at like more of the protege type category. I'm looking at the guys that really, were always side by side. You know, we would always see Suge and Pac side by side. We would always see Big and Puff side by side. We would always see 50 and Yayo side by side, and we'd always see Ja Rule and Irv Gotti side by side. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. Once Ja Rule and Irv Gotti parted, they really didn't want to. They didn't really want to acknowledge it so much when Ja Rule went on his own. Now, 50 and Yayo, it was a little bit different when they came back on the G Unit reunion with Kid Kid, because it seemed like 50 and Yayo were poking a little bit of fun at each other, and this wasn't something that the general public understood. You know what I mean? This really wasn't something that the general public understood. The fact that 50 and Yayo were actually going at one another, you know, and we never looked at it like that. But 50 kind of brought the Instagram life that we had all begun to witness into those studios with everybody that they were interviewing with. You know what I mean? And they would kind of all interact with each other a little bit different in those second G Unit interviews. Not to say I didn't like the vibe. I thought what they brought back was dope. I really would have wished it. I wish it would have got past the Beauty and the Beast. Baby and Lil Wayne is a good one for sure. Let me see. Baby and Lil Wayne. Well, yeah, I maybe should have done Baby and Lil Wayne over John Irv Gotti. 50 and Yayo was really the reason that I wanted to do the poll. I wanted to see how everybody felt about their relationship. You know what I mean? Just because we've always seen them side by side. So 50 and Yayo got 21%. Biggie and Puffy got 31%. Suge and Pac got 41%. Very interesting right there. That Tony Yayo and 50's relationship is holding tight right with those legendary relationships. Did that? I did not know that Frenchie and Hellrell were going on tour, bro. When did you hear about that? Is that something that was kicking up in 2020? Obviously had to be 2021, right? Oh, come on. Will the Beast. I like that one right there, Will the Beast. Not that other one you put. Not that other one you put, but I like Bun. I like Bun B and Pimp C. I like that one, man. What's popping? What's popping? Springfield is in the building tonight. Much love to Springfield, man. You know, I had to come on here and react to this video. CEO Reek did a dope ass interview with you know what I mean? A dope ass interview with Cadillac Ta. CEO Reek is on his bullshit right now. He's back on his bullshit, y'all. He's on his shit. He's doing some dope interview content, man. Really, and Cadillac Ta is involved over there as well. I'm just gonna say it's good to see Cadillac Ta getting a voice, getting an opportunity to say what he, because it's not just 50 Cent he's talking about. You know what I mean? I think this is maybe the second time 50 Cent has come up in their topic of conversation. Another time, Wack 100 was asked, "Yo, Wack, why don't you ever speak on 50? Are you scared of 50 or some shit?" And Wack simply answered, "What do you mean? You must not be caught up with what we do. I have Cadillac Ta on the show with me, and we definitely addressed that." So today, Reek, CEO Reek, actually just asked Cadillac Ta about I think it was a meme or a little cartoon video he saw. Funny enough, he got a whole conversation out of it, man. A whole conversation that involved the Hit Factory incident, a whole conversation that involved Get Rich or Die Trying, a whole incident that involved 50 Cent faking his image. You know what I'm saying? Saying that 50 Cent really wasn't running around going crazy back in the day. I mean, I seem to remember a story of 50 Cent driving the motorbike, you know what I mean, so fast because they thought he was wanted at one point. You know what I mean? He was wanted at one point and he had to drive the bike. I believe 50 was telling that story on the New Breed, or was it just an interview? The one where he was wearing like the white hat and shit like that? Was that the New Breed? Because I really can't remember. Yeah, I copped the New Breed album. You know what I'm saying? I was one of those people that copped the New Breed album, even though it didn't really offer much new music content. It offered inside look. You know what I mean? An inside look that obviously I knew would help me one day. You know what I mean? An inside look that even gave G Unit the edge over, let's say, Murder Inc. You know what I'm saying? Let's say Death Row. You know what I'm saying? Not they didn't have no disc that you could pop in and really, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like 50 and G Unit, and then they're explaining the whole thing. I honestly thought 50 Cent was gonna put out a G Unit what was it called? A G Unit reality show with all of the artists actually, doing their thing. Apparently he did do that. You know what I mean? Something like that in Philly. Apparently he was doing something like that in Philly. Not too sure. I haven't got too much information on it. I know he was doing a lot of stuff with guys from New York. You know what I mean? I know he was doing a lot of stuff with the guys. He had them all these guys on tour from New York. He was doing a lot of stuff for dudes in Cali. You know what I mean? He was doing stuff for dudes in Cali as well. I'm trying to think. Even tapped down with Kid. I'm trying to think who else. I don't know if it was fit. Yes, I'm not bugging. I went out to Atlanta. Rest in peace, Shorty Low. Still got units. Still moving units. Shorty Low's second album. Shorty Low linked up with 50. Shorty Low actually did an interview with me. You know what I mean? Shorty Low actually, really good dude, man. He had me to his grandma's crib. And he introduced me to all of his boys, a lot of whom I kept in contact with for quite some time. Some had hit me up in the last few years and shit like that. Rest in peace to Shorty Low. Dude really would show a guy doing an interview what the hell it meant to be doing it and why you would be doing it. Had me to the crib. Whole shit, y'all. The guys brought out his chain to him. Big ass chain. Just go type in Mikey T the movie star Shorty Low. Shorty got in a car crash, man. He got in an unfortunate car crash. Yeah. Shorty was really doing his thing on a real business level. He was telling me that he was really going to start getting G Unit South popping. I guess that must have been after Young Buck had kind of lost the G Unit South tag, because he was telling me, and it was actually reported all over, that 50 was like hooking him up with the report was it was a $10 million deal. The G Unit South deal was a $10 million deal from what the report was back in the day, man. Anybody in the chat remember that shit besides me? When 50 picked up Shorty Low and shit. What a dope history to look back on. The fact that he's worked with Shorty Low, the fact that he's worked with Kid. You know what I mean? Yup, D4LG Unit. Mr. Throw It All. That movie he was in had me weak. Yeah, Shorty Low was just a real G, man. I gotta say. I always remember the story of pulling down in Atlanta, and it was dark as hell in that area. All these big ass houses and shit. Yeah, I was running through Atlanta crazy. I got invited to the DTP studios. Who else did I link out with up there? I linked up with Diamond from Crime Mob. I was doing my thing out in Atlanta, you guys. I really wish I had more time to develop relationships. You can only do four different people in the vote box, man. I wish you could do like 6, but you can only do 4. Everybody can vote right now if you haven't. Best duo. Who's the best duo, y'all? The best duo y'all know from hip hop. Who is it? I want to know what y'all think, man. I had to come on live tonight because there was a crazy interview that dropped the other day, and I wanted to react to it. And there was some unfortunate news about Frenchie that I just want, since everybody else is speaking on it, man, I'm gonna come on and speak on it tonight. That's just my, impression of it. I got to come on here and speak on things, whether it's the most positive of hip hop news, whether it's some great sales in hip hop news, whether it's great new collaborations, or whether it's unfortunate shit. Like, we talk a lot about people getting sentenced. We talk a lot about, unfortunate passings. We've got to cover all the news. You know what I mean? We got to cover everything that's going on. There's some shit I don't cover, man. There's some shit I don't cover. So if you have any thoughts, you can always leave it in the comments and say, hey, Mikey T, I would like you to cover this. Mikey T, it would be cool if you spoke on that. So because I know there's some stuff that I miss. You know what I'm saying? There's some stuff that I miss, and just know if you throw up in a super chat, your question will always take precedent. I'll always get to your question first, no matter what it was. No matter what it is, I'll answer your question as long as you send it in with a super chat. But also, just don't be afraid to suggest topics. The latest game interview was fire. I watched, the game. Scott Storch has a new interview on Jink Champs, but the game, like, man, this dude, the game, he went on the Nelk Boys interview. He did an interview with Nelk. He kind of had a good time over there, you could tell. You know what I mean? He wasn't real. I don't know why they didn't have him drinking. I don't know why they didn't offer him up mad bottles and just have him drinking. You know what I'm saying, guys, in the chat? Like, I don't know why the Nelk team didn't really have him. I know what it is. It's because Steiny. It's because Steiny actually doesn't really know what he's doing as a podcaster. Steiny was really Steve's assistant. And Steiny is the new podcast. Steiny, public service announcement, bro. When you have a host or a co-host that day like the game, and you know that you've seen him drink and guzzle bottles of liquor, dude, just go to the guys and tell them. Just go to Kyle and be like, yo, this dude guzzles Azul tequila straight up. Let's get like 7 bottles. Let's gift him some bottles, and then maybe he'll guzzle one for us, and we can put it on our YouTube page. You know what I'm saying? And we can do 18 million views. And we can do 18 million views, because that's what the Nelk guys do. And then Steiny could really show what he brings to the game, rather than comparing the game to a rap group that dropped their first album in freaking 1987. Rather than compare him to a rap group that dropped an album, what was it? What's that? 10, 13, 18 years? 18 years before the game? Oh, you was around? Nah, he didn't really say you was around. The game was funny on him on that, though. Shout out to Steiny, man. But Steiny, come on. You knew the game drank tequila like that. You know what Nelk does, man. You know what Nelk does. You really could have came up with a moment right there. Maybe next time, man. Or maybe Nelk just takes me on as their executive producer. He's over there asking Game to get at Brad. Exactly, man. When Angel, should he have been doing that with Brad, or should he have done my suggestion, since he clearly knew about the Game chugging all that liquor? You know what I mean? You know about the Game chugging that liquor. So there's a situation about T.I., right? T.I. and Jim Jones. So Reek said, all I know is T.I. said nothing's been going on, and y'all see I'm free. That was rumors and allegations. He basically saying nothing is going to happen because nothing happened with the Blickies. And he got caught with them, and nothing happened in L.A. when he got pulled over with his wife. That dude, he is above the law, Reek said. Just like Capo. Reek said, just like Capo, if Capo don't go to jail, someone said, don't mess with him. Don't mess with Capo. That's the king. That's the king. The king got more pull. So I believe somebody was telling him that the king has got more pull. T.I. Reek was like, listen, if the Capo doesn't got to sit down, T.I. doesn't have to sit down. Reek just is uncensored with this shit, man. If the Capo don't got to sit down, T.I. doesn't got to sit down. Oh, man. The Capo didn't caught with, someone said the Capo didn't get caught with all that shit that T.I. got caught with. But Reek was like, you don't know what the Capo got caught with because you don't know what the Capo got caught with because you can't find shit on the Capo. Mystery files. So Reek was basically saying, since there's no files out there, all there is out there is a conversation, because the feds were obviously looking into what was going on with the Treyway label. And that's why everybody's got shit twisted. I mean, shit, even academics went on the 100 ENT show, but they won't acknowledge it. They just still won't acknowledge it. Academics literally went on their show and said, guys, Wack 100 is repeating information that is out of date. The date is not lining up with the way that Wack 100 is presenting the information. It's shit that happened afterwards when he's presenting it. You know, he kind of corrected Wack 100 on that. Why did he correct Wack 100 on that? Because he doesn't want to see Wack fail. He doesn't want to see Wack get called out for quoting information in the wrong way. You know what I mean? What credibility is there going to be to the 100 ENT podcast, the 100 ENT YouTube show, if they're just quoting wrong information? You know, Academics has publicly gone on his podcast and offered Gillian Wallow a job. So if you don't think that Academics has Wack 100's best intentions in mind, I mean, you're wrong. I think Wack 100 should have signed to Academics. Why wouldn't he sign to Academics? Why wouldn't he have Academics producing his show with CEO Reek? Why would Academics offer the deal to Why would Academics offer the deal to Gillian Wallow and not offer the deal to Wack and Reek, or Wack and Hassan, right? How about you step in between? This is definitely a different podcast, you guys. I'm definitely getting into a different situation here. But Academics probably realizes shit is messed up right now. He probably does. He definitely recognizes shit is messed up, you guys. Because if he would have just sat down with Hassan Campbell and Wack 100 before Wack 100 left, and went to those clubhouse meetings and put a deal on the table for Hassan and Wack, we wouldn't be where we are today. We would not be where we are today if Academics had Wack 100 and Hassan Campbell sit down, you guys. And maybe this is a video for another day. Maybe I'm going too far with this. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about all this right now. But if he would have offered them a deal for, let's say, $2 million, $1 million each, Wack would have never went and dissed everybody. Wack and Hassan would have started preparing content for Academics. Academics could offer him $1 million up front, could have offered him a little $500,000 up front, however it works. Why did that not happen? I don't know. Seemed like he wanted to get Gillian Wallow really bad. Seemed like he really wanted to get Gillian Wallow pretty bad. I might have to cover that as a topic, you guys. I might have to cover that shit as a topic. Man, I hope y'all enjoying this live video tonight. Let me see. I went over the Jim Jones shit, which is total bullshit. It's like, come on, man. Academics went on the show and told y'all about it. Move on. Let's move on rather than call out Jim Jones. You know what I mean? Let's move on rather than call out Jim Jones. Let's my advice would be just to let Wack 100 smooth everything over. It's on Wack 100 to check the ball to Jim. You know what I mean? At this point, if he's going to smooth things over, which I don't know if it can be smoothed over, we'll have to wait and see. You know what I mean? Mystic Man says Ack might be afraid of being collateral damage for Wack 100's mouth if he signed him. Yeah. He would be able to control the content, though, Mystic. If Wack 100 and Hassan Campbell did a deal with academics, he would at least be able to control the content. He would at least be able to make sure the content was getting filmed correctly. You know what I mean? He would be able to do so many different things. A lot of people might just say, Mikey T, you're bugging. You're bugging out, Mikey T. A lot of people might just say, Mikey T, you are bugging. Why would you think they would get signed for $1 million each for a podcast? Maybe some people agree with me. You know what I mean? I'm just putting a thought out there. And I'm finishing my kush. Will the Beast, did you hear me say that the other day? That they should call their podcast Wackademics? I appreciate you, Mystic Man. Yeah, we be having a great night every time we have a podcast together, you guys. You know, it's just crazy that Cadillac Top. Well, it's really crazy that Reek brought up, you know, this, which led to one of the most controversial nights in 50's career at the Hit Factory, you guys. One of the most controversial nights in 50's career because it always gets brought up. You know what I mean? It always gets brought up and shit like that. Yeah, we be on it, Will the Beast. We be on it, bro. Nightman, I ain't looking that shit up, bro. I don't like to talk about that shit on my channel, bro. Yes. That's what's up. Great minds think alike. But yeah, I don't like I was saying, man, I don't think academics would be upset with Wack 100 and Hassan. I think he probably would have okayed everything that was in their pre-recordings. I think he probably would have accepted everything that was actually in their pre-recordings. You know, like from what we heard, everything that was pretty much exposed. Jelly Runts tonight. Okay, bro. You're smoking good. Nah, Angel. I don't really have any updates on little TJ tonight, man. Yeah, Mystic Man. I was actually talking about it a little bit earlier when Cadillac Ta said that he actually went to 50 Cent's hood. You know what I mean? When Cadillac Ta actually said that he went to 50 Cent's hood and he had 50 Cent check one of the G Unit guys. You know what I mean? So, you know, that doesn't really fit the narrative of what he was saying about 50 Cent wasn't the one who was running around. You know what I mean? Cadillac Ta also said some stuff about, obviously, we're not there yet. Yeah. Jelly runts sounds hella good. I'm just on regular runts tonight, though. Let me see if I got it right here. Yeah, here we go. Here we go, you guys. Y'all want to see this bud I got? All right, y'all. If y'all want to see the runts, if y'all want to see the runts, hit that like button. Hit the like button if you want to see the runts. Got it right there. Damn, say less. If anybody wants me to go over the Hit Factory shit again, send in a super chat, and I will. Because we're already past it. Okay, I got a few likes. Oops. Is that good, you guys? Can you see it, or is it too much light on it? Yeah, y'all can see it. Somebody super chat. Somebody super chat, and I will. Actually, never mind. I'm not going to eat this bud on live. Not doing that. Probably going to smoke this bud. Looks too nice and purpley. Holy shit. God damn, that's that runts right there. Ooh-wee. Sounds like I. Yeah, it's Buddy for sure. This eighth came with like 3 buds in it. Like I just rolled up one of the other buds. I can't remember. I ain't even gonna front with y'all. I can't remember, man. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, Dave. Maybe he Dave says a sly move by Hassan, but still funny and made Wack look a bit stupid. Yeah, maybe it was a sly move, you know what I mean? But ultimately, there could have been a better move made by Hassan Campbell. But Wack 100 kind of put him in a position. Wack 100 kind of put him in a position, I guess, because he felt the kind of way after the interview. So he wasn't going to hide it. He felt the kind of way. Like I said, academics, you know what I mean? Academics didn't really, dude, you missed the live, dude. You missed the live. You're tapped in 2.5 hours late. What do you expect? You're tapped in 2.5 hours late, dude. What are you expecting? Freaking, you're cap, man. Go to sleep. You're cap. Dude's in bed like. His title's cap. You're talking to somebody who interviewed Benzino about the Hit Factory incident. You're talking to somebody who has spoke to Benzino. You're talking to someone that has actually spoke to Benzino about the incident that happened at the Hit Factory. I was there speaking with Benzino about it. Benzino told me 50 came down. The source was in I guess it was the source building or something like that. He was at a recording studio where they had car service from the source. That's what it was. The source car service picked 50 Cent up. Benzino had car service pick up 50 Cent. 50 Cent came down, linked up with Benzino after the situation. I don't just come on here and talk about shit I never heard of. I don't just come on here and do that. I'm not that guy. Maybe you got to get shit right in Boston because Millie's got shit right in Cambridge. Let's put some respect on that. Maybe you got to get shit right, bro, because you're just tapping on here and making pre-assumed judgments and shit like that. Like dudes don't know what they're talking about. Do you know about the Hit Factory incident? When they got wind that 50 Cent was up there recording and Black Child and all them, and they apparently ran to the kitchen area. Do you know about that whole incident? What's good? What's good, Timmy? No, I was just my bad, homie, if you're just tapping in, you know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? But you're about 2.5 hours late. We all been vibing in here for a minute. We all done talked about Cadillac Ty saying 50 Cent wasn't the most wild in the hood. We done talked about Cadillac Ty saying that there's no footage of G-Unit going after Murder Inc. There's footage from the Hit Factory if you really wanted to dig it up. You know what I'm saying? We're tapping on different things. Reek talking about T.I. and Jim Jones. We're touching on different things, man. Please don't think this is going to be 2.5 hours of Mikey T talking about 50 Cent and the Hit Factory incident. If you super chat it, I'll talk about it. Dudes always be on some predetermined shit, man, especially from my own area, especially from the own tri-state area. But then in the next regard, they're like, Mikey T, why don't you do interviews with local artists, Mikey? I don't do interviews with artists. I do interviews with myself. I do blogs. I do podcasts. This is the new shit. I've already interviewed everybody in the game. I've already had your favorite rapper in my inbox. Like, I want to do an interview with Mikey T. And I appreciate the hell out of that. I've already had the labels telling artists, we watched your interview with Mikey T. Multiple labels. We're on here doing our shit, and we're going to keep doing this shit. There's nobody that could stop this shit. They done tried to stop me before. I remember one day I was about to do 1 million views in one day. Oh, yeah, it's all good, Timmy. It's all good, brother. Nah, I just had somebody come in here and try to tell me that, you know what I mean? Tell me some shit about my video. It's like, dude, you're going to log in 2.5 hours late trying to tell me some shit about my live podcast. Dude taps into the Mikey T, the movie star podcast. Like, yo, you're telling jokes. Hell yeah, I'm telling jokes. I'm Mikey T, the movie star. I won the class clown in high school or middle school. I didn't make it through much of high school. Dudes just be having predetermined judgments about who you are and shit like that. Like, I didn't buy the Tony Yayo album and shit like that. Like, I didn't support dudes when they was down going through the mud. You know what I'm saying? Dudes get washed off by the sprinklers and shit like that. Then they forget about Mikey T. I'm just messing around. Please do not make me go and film in bird bath. It's a lake. It's a damn lake, Mystic Mac. There's a difference between a bird bath and a lake, man. You want me to show you? Let's go. All right, I was about to take y'all outside, but it's late. Y'all don't want to mess with the lake. Y'all don't want me to get the lake chair. Y'all don't want me to get the lake chair. I'll be filming out there. By the lake. Y'all will see this really serene look with the tree overlooking it and shit like that. You'd be like, damn. Nah, but there's too much wind out there. That's why I don't do bullshit like that. I got my room for filming and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I got my whole setup for my whole vibe and shit like that. My TVs and shit like that. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they like to film outside. I don't really like to film outside unless I'm doing a live interview on somebody's stoop, unless I'm going to a music video shoot. If I'm doing a live podcast, you pretty much should be recording your shit. But I like to do my shit visually. Forbes DVD is definitely the shit. Forbes DVD is definitely the shit. They would post a lot of my interviews, pretty much damn near everything. Emrek, Doggy Diamonds, those guys showed me hell love. You know what I mean? Those guys showed me hell love, and I'm really grateful. You know what I mean? Really grateful. And Doggy actually got an interview on Drink Champs, which was amazing to see Nori do that, man. These guys really commanding hundreds of viewers on YouTube, the way that they transferred everything over from being a website, a known website, you know what I mean? Because it was just as cool to be on Forbes DVD back in the day as it was to be on World Star. No lie. You would do thousands of views on. I remember one time, little freestyle we released actually did like 75,000 views. It was pretty lit. Whoa, 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 whoa. You might get the crib. You might get the whips. But you're not getting the bitches, man. Please. Relax. Relax, B-Lo. Let's not do that, bro. Let's not do that. Let's not go there. What's the plans for the 4th? Well, the 4th is on Monday. Going to the beach. Going to the beach. Probably shouldn't blog on the 4th, right? If I get some thumbs up, I'll blog on the 4th. If I get like 20 thumbs up, I'll blog on the 4th. But I'm probably going to go to the beach. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be, I was hearing that the weather's supposed to be like 85 degrees through the grapevine. While I was smoking all my weed, I heard that, oh, the weather's supposed to be like 85, and I'm smoking all my weed and shit. And I'm just like doing my Chief Keef shit, you know what I mean? Going through the day and shit like that. I'm the only blogger that smokes like Chief Keef, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is too focused on all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is too focused on other shit. Yeah. I touched 50 Cent's Mood Man 50. I'm sorry. Mike Knox, my bad. I touched 50's Moon Man. My bad about that. I had to touch the Moon Man. So technically, I got to touch a MTV VMA Moon Man for what was it, Best New Artist or something like that. I really should have snapped a picture of that, but I was not about the Instagram back in the day. I was not about that Instagram life back in the day. I was more into what I was doing. You know what I mean? I was more into what I was doing. What do I mean when I say that? I was more into creating the memories for myself, to be honest with you. I was more into creating the memories for myself. I was behind the camera doing interviews and shit like that at that point in time when I went up to go interview Kid. Thank you, Kid, for having me at the G Unit offices. No, 50 Cent did not pop up on me like, yo, what are you doing, Mikey T? What are you doing? Touching my Moon Man, Mikey T. Sorry, Fifth. Didn't mean to touch your Moon Man. But can we have that same kind of relationship that you kind of had with 6ix9ine? You know what I mean? Where you're like buying me like the chain with like the, but then it's a diamond, so I just wear it to the club. No, I'm just messing around. Everybody knows 50 has had great relationships with his artists, to Lloyd Banks, to Tony Yayo, to even Young Buck or The Game or Mobb Deep. You know what I'm saying? I loved what I saw him do with MOP. It was dope seeing him work with Mace. It's dope seeing him work with Mike Knox, MK, excuse me. MK actually showed the video, or there was video of 50 actually pulling up on MK and shit like that, and they've kept quite a relationship. So it's just dope to see the things he's done, like with Uncle Murda, you know what I mean? The things he's done now with Little Meech. I'm keeping my ears, I'm keeping my eyes open. I'm keeping my ears open to it, and I'm definitely watching it. That's what I mean when I say that, y'all. I'm definitely watching it. I gotta watch Power, you guys. I have not watched Power. I'm sorry. Don't butcher me. Don't butcher me. I have not watched Power, but I love BMF. You know what I'm saying? I have not watched Power, but I love BMF. So if I haven't watched Power, but I love BMF, Would I love power? There's just so much of it to watch. Wow. Look at this poll. Puffy and Big has taken the lead in the poll. I like it. Oh, shit. This weed is sticky, y'all. I got a sticky situation over here with all this bud, man. Damn. I need a grinder, man. I'm about to use a grinder on this shit. This shit is annoying me right now, you guys. I need to get a weed roller. Anybody want to come on tour with me and be my weed roller? I have to get a personal weed roller. We're going to have to do something where somebody can be Mikey T's personal weed roller. Like some sort of a giveaway. Instead of like you can hang out with me all day. You know, like them things that people be doing, like where you can go spend a day with your favorite celebrity. We're going to have to do a day where you can come and just roll up all my weed for me. Of course, you can roll up an L for yourself too. You know what I mean? Roll up one for me, one for you. 2 for me, 1 for you. Dave says, I'll do it. I can start tomorrow. Angel says, I would. David says, I'll do it. I'll start tomorrow. Come on, Will the Beast, man. My podcast is not going to be called Smoking Blunts with Mikey T. Oh, I know. Are you just saying you're smoking blunts with Mikey T? Somebody give me an idea. What would my podcast be called just from the way that you guys see me act? Who says stay up, bro? Like, I'm going to stay up with you? No, you're going to stay up with me. You know what I mean? And you can either be cool like the 66 other people in this room, or you could just be a hater. You know what I mean? And you can go on with whatever type of life you're living. You know what I mean? But I'm obviously living pretty good. You know what I mean? Everybody else in here, we're all pretty positive, and we all talk about the most current hip hop news, and we all dive back and talk about the best hip hop history, which we've been doing this week a lot. I love it. Obviously, enough people aren't seeing my material to where they're realizing the point of the content. Like with me a few days ago, letting the world know that I have no problems with G Unit. Weirdo troll! Damn. Sometimes I just be wondering, sometimes I'd be wondering, like, damn. So they be hating, right? They be hating, right? But they got to remember all day. They got to remember tomorrow. They got to remember the next day. They got to remember the day after that they were hating. That must be sad. That must be sad. That must be tragic. You know what I mean? But then my perspective is I just get over it. It rolls right off of me. You know what I mean? My perspective of it is I go out and I get a steak. I go out and I get a macchiato. I do my regular shit. So it's like, damn, I just kind of feel bad for the people that hate because I'm driving around, living my life. You know what I'm saying? Putting together all these videos, of course, because this is what I love to do. You know what I mean? This is what gives me passion and shit like that. So Tony is 50 Cent's burner account. Why doesn't 50 Cent know that I got mad love for him? You know what I mean? Why doesn't 50 know I got mad love for him? You know what I'm saying? I could have been the best G Unit A&R. Still could. Hold on. Who's Tony? Oh, Tony. See, I already forgot about him. You know what I mean? I already forgot about him, man. Should we pop a bottle? Should we pop a bottle, you guys? I can't wait till we're popping these bottles. Yo, Fifth, I need that Lakimadora. I need that Lakimadora. We need that shit on the show, Fifth. I ain't messing around. I'll be drinking that Lakimadora every single night on the show. Fifth, don't leave me dry. It's like dry season over here right now, man. We're drinking Red Bull every night. We're drinking Red Bull, wearing red bottoms every night. You know, we wearing that fancy ass shit on our feet. Don't make me take my shoe off, man. You don't want to see no $1,300 kicks. But we need that Bel Air blue joint right there, man. We need that. I mean, no. We need that Lakimadora. Yeah, Mikey T spent $60 on G-Unit sneakers. Put some respect on his name. Just because I'm spending $13 on some Louboutins, you know what I mean? I don't see what the problem is. I don't see what the problem is right now. Dudes is rolling around acting like they forgot about Mike T. You forgot about Dre and you forgot about Mike T, right? I'm kind of feeling like Dr. Dre in 1999 right now. You know what I'm saying? Dude puts out Chronic 2000. They forgot about Dre. Dude puts out a whack-ass Chronic 2000 album. Like Dre. Man, you bless Dre. You bless Dre, Suge. You blessed Dr. Dre when he got to name his album 2001. You know how bland the Chronic 2000 sounds? Any group, any organization that would, or any movie that would name themselves back in 1999, this 2000. Remember, they even did it at WrestleMania. WrestleMania, instead of 16, WrestleMania 2000. Like, get the hell out of here. You just gave Dr. Dre an out because he was going to name him. He was going to name his album The Chronic 2000. Man, you just made Dr. Dre shit so much better. So much better. 50, don't think I'd be hating on you, man. That's just bullshit. I don't really be respecting everybody that be flipping. I don't really be respecting everybody that be flipping their narrative. I feel like Power of the Dollar 50 Cent when it comes to this blog and shit. I feel like 50 Cent and the Power of the Dollar, you guys. That's how I feel in my mind. Mikey T sliding around with $1,300 sneaks. That's because I had to grind. That's because I had to grind when I was young, man. You know, but buying them G-Unit sneakers when I was younger, spending $50 on them, not $60, but closer to $60 with the tax and all that. That shit meant something to me. Spending that much on shoes back then, that mean I was not going to have money on me. And I still had the damn sneakers. And I messed up and bought the white ones. Didn't last as long. How the hell are they going to last as long as with me? I was running around like crazy back then. Until my, you know what? Thank you, Mystic. I appreciate you, man. Don't forget about Mikey T. Say no Eminem shit. Don't forget about Mikey T. You know what I'm saying? Detroit. Salute, Detroit. Appreciate you for tapping in tonight. Yeah, I'm just going live tonight, man. Going live tonight. We had a bunch of dope shit we were talking about, man. You know, a bunch of dope interviews out right now that I'm reacting to. Got a poll up right now. If you haven't voted in it, Ida. Best duo in hip hop. It's not really pertaining to the music. It's more so pertaining to their relationship. You know, Suge and Pac. We all know their situation. Suge rolling up to the prison. Suge putting out arguably Pac's best album. You know what I mean? Maybe a little bit more than arguable that All Eyes on Me was the best. I mean, let me know if anybody else in the chat has any differing opinions. Dave says, I know. I had the I had the G unit as well. The G unit shoes. Which ones did you have, man? I really wish I would have spent a little bit more money back then, but I guess the all whites were the cheapest ones, which in retrospect sucks. But in retrospect, if I had money back then, I would have bought a bunch of the G unit shoes and actually held on to them for a bunch of years. But that wasn't the case for me back in then. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't the case for me. I didn't have all types of money and shit like that. But yeah, looking at it now, all those shoes of somebody doing really good investment, like, so this is for the younger generation or just anybody, because we could all do it as well. You just got to really, a lot of people are doing it. My friend had one of the best collections of Jordans. He actually gave me a few pairs. Yeah, he gave me a few pairs. Those are expensive shoes as well, man. Not as crazy as the Louboutins or the Balenci's, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Will DeBeast, you're gonna have to send a super chat for that question to get answered. Drake and Wheezy. Yeah, if I was talking about best hip hop duos, you know what I mean, like Dre and Snoop, you know what I'm saying? If I was talking about best hip hop duos like Jada Styles, if I was talking about, artists like that, maybe Drake and Wheezy would get the nod. I mean, I'd have to take a little bit more thought into that, just how many tracks they've actually had together overall. You had the black ones with the Like Life leather. I remember seeing the blue ones, which I kind of wish I would have got. And I don't remember seeing the red ones. I don't remember seeing the red ones. I kind of feel like I wouldn't have been able to, but I probably would have left that day and just came back another day and got the red ones if I would have seen them. So I think the only ones I got an option to buy were the white ones, and they were like $50 to $55. And but when the guys at G Unit attained a level of success, they obviously wanted to wear different shoes. But I think I could see where 50 was coming from with that, because if you had Yayo, Banks, and Buck and Game all wearing the shoes in the different environments, and I don't know if Game was really around at that portion though, because Game actually had the Hurricanes around the same time, which I did not buy. Um, they came out after the G Unit shoes, because the S Carters came out at the same time as 50 shoes. The Game shoes came out after, and not too later after. And I was just like, yo, I can't do this again. I can't do this again. I can't do this again. I already ruined my G Unit shoes. I already ruined the G Unit shoes. Yep. Yep. See? Right there. The black ones and the red ones and Finish Line. Yeah, see, I was going to Eblin's. We had Eblin's like within walking distance. It was like a mile, 2 miles away from my house. So we would literally just walk down through the woods, past the grocery store, up past Strawberries, take a right, go past like all the spots and go to the Eblin's and shit. I got black ones because my mother let me wear them to school. I don't remember the all black ones. Do you mean the gray ones? Or am I thinking the blue ones? I think there's gray too, actually. Yeah, there's gray. Yeah. And the gray ones were going for like $550, $540. How crazy is that, you guys? How crazy is that they were actually going for $540? Pretty freaking amazing. Yeah, I do. I remember all the promotion for them. But I was never wearing boots. You know what I mean? I was never wearing boots back then. Ever. No, back then. I say back then because I grew up so young. You know what I mean? It's like we were literally grown up when we were in like third grade, second grade, first grade. I felt like a grown up when I was in kindergarten. You know what I mean? I legitimately felt like a grown up in kindergarten, some of the shit that I was doing. Did anybody else feel like that? Anybody else in the chat? Did anybody else in the chat feel like a grown up when they were 5 years old? I want to know if anybody else felt like that before we go any further, or if I'm the only one. Because if I'm the only one, that's crazy. That's bugged out. If I'm the only one who felt that way, dude, run around at 5 years old. I was running around at 5 years old doing all types of crazy shit, making guns out of Legos and shit like that. And then the girls at school would have this one little area where they would play and shit. And I would arrange all the guys to get together. And I was like, yo, we got to go get the jewelry. We got to go get this shit. Everybody make your toy guns and shit like that. I'm like, everybody make them shits. Make your... I was doing some of the most wild shit in 5th grade, in kindergarten. I wasn't doing that shit in 5th grade. They done moved me out. They moved me out of that area by the time I was in 5th grade. They were like, yo, we got to get this kid out of here. He's going straight to jail. So by the time, because they kept on having to move me back and forth between my mom and dad's house anyways. I had to keep on moving back and forth because my mom had 3 kids, 4, because one was my brother was older who made the movie Slapface. So they kept on having to move me back and forth because I would always get in trouble and shit like that. So they moved me back and forth between both schools before I eventually ended up having to stay with my dad. Nah, I didn't have this beard. I had more like, I thought it was like blondish hair back in the day. But yeah, so that's kind of why I felt grown up. And then like dudes in like 1st grade, you know what I mean? Dudes in 1st grade acting like grown adults, not to mention what happened in 3rd grade. But yeah, this is just for, that'll be for other shit, you know what I mean, to really tell my story. Yep. Ida's on some shit right here. He said, bro, 3rd, I was seeing 2 dimes. You're fun. Hilarious, dude. You're hilarious. Dude. No, yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's just crazy how you would grow up that young and like, you know what I mean? You'd have so many different friends and shit like that. I got a lot of stories about that shit from back in the day. Getting jumped and shit like that too. Schoolyard brawls and shit like that. Actually meeting kids at the schoolyard and shit. One time, no, I didn't smoke. No, I didn't smoke till like 9th grade. In reality, I did not smoke till like 9th grade. You think my parents were going to tell me about that shit? Come on, man. But that's dope, Ida. Yo, because I see like you were a little bit more grown up in the 3rd grade as well because you're in Detroit. I was actually in Connecticut. I'm in Connecticut. But no, I was not smoking until like 9th grade, summer of 8th grade. Meet at the flagpole? No, I never met at the flagpole. No. I don't remember. I don't know what the hell you really mean by that. I get you'd be like, you couldn't really leave school to go outside. You couldn't really leave school to go outside. To go to the flagpole, you'd have to like go past the like the entrance and all that. I remember one time like dude, we are in like 2nd grade. Me and my dudes were in 2nd grade and they gave us after school detention. Have you ever heard of a 2nd grader getting after school detention? Who in here has heard of a second grader getting after school detention? They literally had us after the school until like 6 o'clock at night. They had us all sitting in like where the secretaries would be sitting during the day. Oh, is that what they said? No, we met back by the pavilion or something like that. We met in the back by the pavilion. Back where them big ass boxes would be, like the big ass trailer boxes where they would keep storage. We would meet back there. I remember one time I was getting it. I'm not gonna get into it, man. I'll save it for another podcast. Whoever the hell wants to interview me about my early life. Really, Mystic? That's hilarious. But no, who did anybody else get detention, like after school detention in the second grade? Or was it just me? Iceberg, bro. Is this a normal thing? Dudes be like, Mikey T, you had it easy. Yeah, I had it easy in detention in the second grade. That's hilarious, Belicio. I remember actually, yeah, that's this. Some of these stories I don't like to get into on YouTube, man. You know what I mean? Because I don't really like talking about that type of shit. They're like, what are you talking about, Mikey T? You literally just talked about 50's altercation at the Hit Factory. You talked about T.I. getting caught outside of the Walgreens. And you won't talk about what happened to you in your early life? Oh, no, we didn't have to write that I'm sorry shit. That's not what it was, I guess. They made us sit in the office. It wasn't like detention was in, like when I moved to over by my dad's house, it wasn't the same. Like when I eventually got into, let me think, it was high school is the first time they really did detention. I got high school detention like once or twice in like ninth grade. And you would sit in a classroom. But when I got detention in grade school, grammar school, oh, damn, Randy, that's crazy. You was in Brownsville, Nightman? Oh my God, that's great, you guys, man. This shit's live. I really appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, man. I got the livest audience, y'all. Make sure you tune in with me tomorrow night. Nah, it was till after school. We were there till like 6 o'clock at night, man. We were there till like 6 o'clock at night. I know because it was dark when we left. Ah, that's hilarious, Belicio. Yo, if everybody on here follows me on Instagram, I'd appreciate it. I'm going to be live tomorrow. I'm going to be live tomorrow night at 10:30 as well, you guys. I really appreciate everybody for tapping in and watching my reaction videos to all the news going on in hip hop, man. You know, I hope I don't offend anybody on these videos. I hope I don't offend any of the artists and shit like that, because I really do got a lot of love for them. But I like to call out both aspects of it. What one side is saying, I got to say what the other side is saying as well. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You know what I mean? We got to know the real information out there. There's no point in holding back. Sometimes you just got to rip that the Band-Aid off. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to rip the Band-Aid off. You don't sit there and let shit linger. You talk about it. Reek just did a dope new interview. I wanted to come on and speak about it. I hope everything goes well for Frenchie. And we'll talk about more tomorrow night, you guys. I hope y'all tap in with me. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Hit that notification bell. I'll see y'all in the next live video.